Good morning, traders. Wouldn't you know it, guys? It's going to be a volatile day. The triple witch coming into play, options expiration. We got to keep an eye out, especially towards the last hour of the market. There's going to be a power hour for sure. I'm ready to trade the market. I'm down already a little bit, taking a little bit of some pre-market action. Let's talk a little bit about it. Take a look at some swing trade opportunities. Today, we'll take a look at a Tesla, Nvidia, or potentially looking at energy. We talked about it yesterday. Let's get to the trading action. It's Trade the Pool. What's going on out there, traders? Let's go ahead. Let's get right to the market and see where we can find a trade today. I'm going to be watching Tesla. Tesla is definitely on the radar for me. Let's go ahead. Let's go right into the market. Let's take a look here. What am I seeing in Tesla? It's already getting a little bit of a spike here. I was kind of waiting to kind of come towards the show to maybe take a shot on getting a starter on Tesla, but it's already making that move. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't want to miss this, guys. So I'm going to already try to get a starter here and then see what we can get on pullbacks here. Let's see what I can go ahead and come up with. I'm going to start in with just a small amount, guys, looking for a big push towards eventually maybe 190, which is a $10 push. So I don't got to go too crazy, right? Let's go ahead. I'm going to start off probably with 30 shares, looking to add some on pullbacks back below the 180.90s. Really like the 179.30 level. Really, if I could get it down to there, it would be probably the best spot to kind of get this dip buy in. But I also see that we've had 1, 2, 3. I'm going to look for that fourth dip towards that 179.30, definitely to kind of get the bigger position, the swing kind of position. Right now would be kind of that day trade momentum just to jump on this spike right here. I'll probably hold off right now because I got to go ahead and get through some news here. But hey, guys, keep an eye out on Tesla today. It's definitely on my radar as one of the top watches. Keep an eye. One of the things that I like here on this Tesla move, right, is we got a big rip, right? This is kind of that inverse head and shoulders pattern. We had that big cut down through the 170, a recovery there back to the 190s. Now has pulled back right towards that nice little level. I'd like the 179.30s for the 50% retracement for the move back through the 190 and then really starting to make the move. AMD did a similar move, at least the first burst. So you got to look out to see what happens with AMD today. A nice little burst up there, got all the way to 166.80s and then pulled back to the 160 level. The 160 level being vital, as that was where you broke support and washed out some bull traders before. Some bull traders will be watching that 160 this morning. And wouldn't you know it, we're trading right off of that 160. Look at that 160 level here, multiple wicks in that area. We'll see if AMD actually washes through, or can it go back through 165, 167? All trades to keep in mind. And like always, let's take a look at NVIDIA, the NVIDIA Dragon. Definitely a turnaround. Finally, guys, look at that. It actually touched the 9 EMA. I think this is important to watch because now we can kind of start taking a look to see if NVIDIA actually wants to break down. I can see eventually a pullback coming towards the exponential moving average of the 50. That's towards 106 or the 100 spot here where there is a gap, of course, from the split adjusted pricing, right? I could see it coming back into that 100 spot. We'll see what happens. Does it start to work its way back here and get into this gap? There's another gap right above it too. There's a couple of gaps that it can come and try to fill. That's back down here towards that 108 level. So that's why I'm looking at the 50 exponential moving average as potential pullback layers for NVIDIA. Does it mean that NVIDIA is completely broken? No, but it could be due for a little bit of a pullback. We'll see what happens on it today. I don't think it's going to go one way. It might test an hourly kind of move. So you might see a little bit of a comeback trail towards this 130. It could spike up towards that 130, maybe using that 131 here from the pre-market as resistance, and then looking to see if it chops down towards the 126 level. Catching up with you guys in the chat. What's going on? Good morning to you guys. Definitely smash the like out there, guys. I'm ready to get after it. You guys see it, the McLaren shirt on today. We're going to race into this market, the Nando life. Let's see what we can get out in the market. Who likes Formula One out there? Let me know in the chat if you're a Formula One fan. I'll tell you one thing. I need to find some fast go-karts because it's just like trading, man. I like to go fast. We'll see what happens out there. Let's keep taking a look at some different stocks in the market. I can go ahead and start taking a look at different stocks that are moving today. Let me actually pull this up here. Boom. No, I don't want my TC over there. Come on, Windows. All right, let me go ahead and fix up here. Let me get, there we go. Now I got it right. No, there we go. All right, let's get towards the Sunrise Report. Of course, the Sunrise Report is where we give you guys, of course, the information in the market so you guys can build your watch list. What stocks are moving? What stocks actually have catalyst? If you guys have a stock that you guys want to talk about, make sure you throw it up in the chat. I'll go through it. We can take a look at the catalyst. We can take a look if there's patterns there that we can recognize. But like always, hit the like button. Let's go. Let's get after it. The Sunrise Report, of course, is given to you guys on Twitter every single day. So if you guys are not checking out, of course, our Twitter, well, you're going to be missing out on getting that first, right? That's what I try to give you guys. I try to give it to you in the morning. You guys can take a look at the strategy playbook here this morning. I'm going to throw it up in the chat. Definitely go ahead, guys. Give it a like if you guys get a chance. And definitely the fresh cut today. Hey, got to have the fades, baby. Fades on, and maybe we'll be fading this market, right? That's the way it feels right now. Definitely starting to get heavy. Now we just got to watch to see if we get some downside action. Unfortunately, nothing on watch for Shane this morning. Very slow morning in small cap penny stock world for me. And I agree with you, Shane. I tried to wake up this morning at 4 a.m. and take a trade. I'll tell you guys a little bit about it right now. This was on Z-Car. And maybe, maybe I just got freaked out and maybe should have held on a little bit to this one because it's back up towards my entry, guys. So this is one that I got to say, I'm not used to trading that early, but I definitely sold this one maybe a little bit early and not giving myself the chance. And if I would have just held to my stop, I would still be in this name, probably break even right now. But let me show you guys it. I always try to be transparent with you guys and show you guys all my trades, win or lose, right? This is not an area where you're going to see hiding, guys. So you guys see it here, this pre-market action here, guys. I was trying to take this trade off of these levels. I did get in off of like kind of the 20 and 19 level and was looking for it to get that nice little push higher. Actually ended up selling it right here, right when it started to turn around going to the 20. Wouldn't you know it? As soon as I sell it, it starts to go up. That's how it goes sometimes, team. But definitely going to continue to watch what happens with this one. This was the only penny stock that I saw kind of moving at 4 a.m. So I took a shot on this. Maybe I was wrong to take a shot on it in the morning. I'm starting to try a new strategy there. What I'm trying to do also is limit the downside action too and the loss, right? So on this one, we only lost 45. Normally on day trades right now, I'm holding towards 100 to 150 risk. So there's the 45 down, guys. You guys see it. 20 buy, 18 buy, 19 buy, selling it at 17. Could have maybe stayed in it a little bit, but didn't want to push it. It wasn't moving. And I was expecting more like a fast mover going to like 50 cents, 60 cents, looking like it wants to go to $1. But hey, you're not going to catch them all. Need to keep trying to play some of these at 4 a.m. The only way to learn is to try it. Actually try to execute the strategy and see what we can get out of it. All right, guys, smash the like out there, guys. I was online too, but lucky I'm based in Asia means late nights. Hey, Shane, that's how it is, man. Yeah, late nights is a little bit better than early mornings, especially with me because I'm there, I just probably just fed my twins, right? I just gave them a nice little bottle, and then I'm like, oh, let me look at some trading action. Well, it's a little bit harder to do, but I'll tell you one thing, guys. If you haven't done so already and you guys are a part of Trade the Pool, you guys are hanging out here, guys, check out the mobile platform, guys. If you guys don't have your mobile platform, What are you waiting for, team? I use it all the time to check in on my trades. I take a look. Look at that. Look at that right there, guys. Up 262 projected balance. Let's keep battling in my eValve account. And like always, team, if you don't have your platform, please download it, man. This could really save you, team. There's times where I have to step away, and this is how I go ahead and make sure I don't get caught with my pants down, right? Don't want that to happen. All right, team, definitely check it out, guys. You guys can download the app. I think they have it for both Android and Apple. I'm not an Apple user, so Android users, you're all set there. Definitely go ahead and download the Trade the Pool app. And SRPT definitely looks interesting. Let's talk a little bit about the news. Let's get into that action. Just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what was going on this morning. All right, so in the Sunrise Report, of course, today we'll have the triple witching. Of course, the triple witching is when simultaneous expiration of stock options, right? They all expire at the same time. You get stock options, you get stock index futures, you get stock index options, and of course, the actual stocks themselves, right? And so we have 5.5 trillion that's going to be expiring today. And this is according to Spot Gamma. So we got to continue to watch to see how this will play into it. You could see some imbalances towards the open. You could also see some imbalances at the end towards the close, especially as they start to roll over. And the last hour is expected to really be those fireworks. So watch out today, traders. It's going to be a little bit of a mix, and it's Friday. You know how it is on Friday. Sometimes they can be tough. We'll see what happens in the market today. Let's go to different stocks out there. Gilead, first stock on the radar today for the Sunrise Report. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the action right now in the pre-market. You guys can see this spike there. It went up to a high of 73.99. And why is it spiking? Because twice yearly HIV prevention medicine succeeded in a phase 3 trial with no HIV cases among roughly 2,000 women. So another phase 3 trial is needed before seeking FDA approval. But Gilead getting a nice little jump there. We'll continue to watch to see what happens to the drug manufacturer names. XLV, of course, the healthcare kind of spiders. You can see how this is just hanging up on the top end of the range. Will it take another level to the upside? Definitely something to keep watch. Gilead Science this morning trying to get the pop after yesterday's pop also. We'll see if it can continue and make a day 2 type move. Yesterday, definitely the big move on the day towards the end was Penn. Big push towards the end. This came from 855s all the way up there towards a close towards 2007. So big move there, guys, with the Penn move. So what happened here is that there's a report suggesting that Boyd Gaming made an acquisition approach to the company. Of course, Boyd Gaming is right here, BYD, and that's why BYD is actually on the downside of things, right? If they would be the acquirer, they'll get hit to the downside. Penn will get lifted. So we'll see if this can continue to make noise and actually shift around the market today. Penn still hanging up there towards $20. There's no mention of price that I could find. If you guys can see a price out there, let me know. Of course, these are all rumors, but it could go through on Penn. All right, let's keep going. DJT, we were looking at this yesterday. Shares were dropping pretty fast on the sell-off, tied to, of course, Truth Social, and it's down there towards 2730s. We'll see what happens. This looks ugly, man. This is not really a pretty looking pattern or anything here that I can really draw off of. So for me, this is just a no touch. It's like a big M pattern. It looks like a McDonald's, but I'm just going to leave this alone, team. This could go through $20 and eventually be in the single digits. I think that's the more likely scenario here. But at the end of the day, I don't see such edge on the chart. I'm not going to probably be trading DJT, but definitely keep an eye open for it. And SRPT, you talked about it, Shane. Let's take a look at it. This was one that was up this morning, and I was taking a look at it for maybe a fade. And as you can see in the morning, if I would have taken it off of that first spike in the morning, 4 a.m., I probably would not be doing too well right now. But keeping an eye on it, right? Of course, this got a nice little jump here. It's a biotech, and it jumped after an FDA approval of additional use of its gene therapy for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And so one thing that I'll just state on these is that you got to be careful with these, because the truth is that now at this point, this stock has really taken off, and it could pull back 50% of this recent move. And that's when you can get caught trying to play a long up here. I'd be looking for pullbacks towards that 150. At least that kind of makes sense for me for a 50% retracement of yesterday's move. And then it starts to come back into that spot. Probably the 150 area looks to make sense. So your all day fade could go right into that 150, Shane. We'll see what happens. Like always, keep an eye open. And if you guys have strategies, ideas, trade ideas, throw them up in the chat, guys. I'm here for you guys. Like always, you guys tuning in also on Twitter, or dare I say X, right? XXX. Well, pay attention to that, guys. And you guys can come join over on the YouTube side of things and throw in some stocks. I'll definitely take a look. All right, let's keep going. Let's catch up everybody in the chat. Boogie Woogie in the house. How we doing? Let's get after it, team. Congrats on the Twins. Yeah, man. I'll tell you one thing. They definitely pushed me to new levels. So I'm ready to keep going after it. Double bottom at that 163.50 on SRPT. So I'm short if it breaks down through that level. Hey, it's not a bad level to kind of watch for. 163.50s. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that level here. 163.50s. I'm thinking you're talking right about here. So not a bad level to kind of keep a watch on it. We'll see if it kind of flushes through that 163.50 level. Let's see. I can adjust it here. 163.50. That's your level, Shane. You know what? I'm going to call this the Shane level, man. And what color are we going to use for Shane? Let's use yellow. Yellow is going to represent Shane's level here, man. I got you, bro. I'll put your level there on SRPT. We'll see if it works out. Like always, guys, you guys make your own investment decisions, but we'll see. It doesn't look too bad there for a pullback. We'll see if it's able to cut down there, Shane, and actually keep going. Like always, Shane, you make your calls. You can always just pull off if you don't want to take the trade. But I did want to even include your level there, and we'll keep an eye open for it to see if it breaks through, right? I'm definitely going to put an alert there for the 161. That's kind of more my level. But like always, there's so many levels, traders, you guys can be looking for. Zap, zap, zap. What you think of the app? I actually like the app, Scott. I can tell you right now, I actually have taken certain trades and closed certain trades through the app. So I would definitely have it, man. Maybe I won't be doing, all my trading through here. But let's say for the swing evaluation. The swing evaluation, a lot of times I don't need to be stuck on the computer to watch my swing trades. I can just take a peek at them on my phone and just keep going on my day. Before, if I didn't have the Trade the Pool app, what would I have to do? Would I have to use some other service and then run over to the computer? I don't want to be having to do that. So I did want to kind of talk about that because, hey, that's an advantage that you guys have if you use it. It's a tool that's available to you. Check out the app, guys. All right, let's go to Zap. Zappy Zap. Zap was trying to make the move yesterday, failed the move yesterday. And so now I got to continue to watch to see if it's going to make that next move up higher. To me, it makes more sense to come back to this 171 and build up some volume, but it could break right back above that $3 spot. That's where I'd be watching to see this really kind of get hot through the 250. Going to 3 in a quick manner is something to kind of keep an eye out for. Zap has been pulling back. I'll keep an eye on it, especially if Tesla makes that move, right? If Tesla makes that move, it'll definitely be interesting. Tesla is pulling back a little bit. Just recently made that little spike. I didn't take the shot in that. I'm going to look for a decline out the gates on Tesla today, see if I can get after it. Like always, Shane, I'm here for you guys, just like you guys are here for me. Definitely smash the like. If you guys always have setups, ideas, throw them up. I'll take a look at them. BTTR is one that was recently really strong and right back down, guys. You got to be careful on names like this. This was all the way up there to 7, and it's right back down to 4. SLDB showing up on the scanners. I'm just going through the scanners here, guys, and starting to build the watch list. If you guys have anything that you guys are looking at, throw it up in the chat. We can definitely run through the scanners here, the up gappers. We see also CNSP show up. This is not a bad one, as we've been kind of keeping an eye on this one. Let's take a look here. It's down to $2. Can this one bounce? I don't know, man. These aren't looking that great today. At least the pennies, at least. We'll see what happens. IWM is on the pullback and kind of stuck in the middle. We'll have to see if this can turn around. The overall market, though, right? Qs and SPY has been pulling back after yesterday's turnaround. We'll see what happens today. Will we start to cut through and get into levels, let's say, maybe a weekly red candle? Open of the candle was at 542.11. Right now we're trading at 545.08. So we'd need to cut the 542 spot. And that's what, 542.11. Let's go ahead. Let's actually put that there. 542.11. So this is going to be an important level to watch to see if the weekly candle goes red on the week. And then we start to get a little bit of a decline back to the 9 EMA. Right now, I think a lot of traders are looking for the fade. So it could be one of those where the first hour, maybe even 2 hours of the day is actually straight up and then straight down towards the end of the day. It's going to be a little bit of a shake. That's for sure. Molina, this one has been moving fast, guys, but be careful with this one because boy, oh boy, does it have a gap down below towards the $8 that it could get down, or $12 in play today. So it's just going to move all around. This is one that if I would trade, I would be in and out like a fast food restaurant, just in and out, baby. All right, let's see what else is going on in the market today. It's good to see you guys in the chat. Smash the like, guys. We got a lot of stocks to talk about here and a lot of actions to get through. Let's go ahead. I'm ready to talk a little bit about my swing trades here and take a look at what stocks you guys are watching. Throw it up in the chat if you guys have anything on the radar. Let's switch it up here. Let's go to the swing side of things, guys. I do got a position to tell you guys about. Let's go to it. Let's talk a little bit about Valero. So Valero was yesterday's trade of the day, and I ended up taking a swing after I closed that day trade. And boy, oh boy, if I held that day trade, I probably would have been making a little bit more yesterday. Was still up $60 on the day trade side of things. Now looking for a swing on Valero. So Valero pulling back a little bit this morning. I'm in at 152.91. Looking for a pullback towards the 151 range to add on this. Any pullback on the hourly level is what I want to be watching for. So you see this trend line here. This is what I'm going to be looking for. It to pull back to undercut and then rally back to the upside. That's where I'll be adding for the swing. We'll see if that works out today. This is also in play with the energy play that you guys can be watching for. And the big thing for me is if we can close back above 156. This is going to be looking prime time. So we'll see what happens there on Valero Energy. You can also take a look at XOM, right? Looking for hourly pullbacks. Yesterday, we broke out above this. This was yesterday's action, right? We broke right through this 110.56. So that's kind of the level that I'd be looking for pullbacks to. Little quick pullbacks into that level. Don't look too bad at all. Back below the 111, I wouldn't mind XOM. And on the daily chart here, you're starting to see what? The propping of the trying to get the move back towards the trend line. And a lot of times what I look for, this is called the undercut and rally strategy. I haven't taken a look at the volume, but something tells me that right here, if this is going to be the undercut and rally strategy, there needs to be big volume that comes in on that cut down of the 110 support. So let's see the volume here, and boom, there you guys see it. Someone was trying to make that call here and it didn't work out. Now they're starting to add into these in the last kind of 3 days. You can see that volume starting to come in here. This is what I'll be watching to see because it doesn't look bad at all, especially if it holds yesterday's low 109.59. I'll keep that in play and look for pullbacks on oil, especially oil stocks. XLE is one ETF that you guys can play, right? Or if you guys are like me, sometimes want to just play a leverage move on the daily, Gush also in play above 35s is the level I'll give there on Gush. You can see how it's been hanging out, kind of has like that inverse head and shoulders pattern on the hourly. Needs to get above the neckline. That's a move back through the 35, going into the 36. Something to keep an eye out on Gush. All right, guys, let's talk about XRT. XRT is the retail ETF. Of course, I've been talking about this, that I could get that nice run back towards that 77.67. So this is not a bad one to watch. I've been in this one almost all week long, guys. 75.37. I've added to this position. I was closer towards 75.13. But have about 40 shares of this, looking for a little bit of a pullback to maybe add. Or if I just get that quick break towards 76, might be able to add a little bit, and looking for that run towards 77 and 78. A big one that I was watching with this one was Best Buy's move, of course. Best Buy was pulling back to the 9 EMA when I was looking at this, and now has really started to stay strong. So I'm going to continue to watch to see what happens in some retail stocks to see if they can keep flying high, right? A&F starting to turn around a little bit, guys. We'll see. This one finally broke the 9 EMA and definitely has a double top action towards that 190. Could be pulling back to the 150. Wouldn't want to see that one break down, of course, because then my retail trade will probably break down. Gap GPS also has this gap right below it, pun intended. Let's see if this turns back towards the 30 or back into that gap zone. That's something to keep an eye out for. All right, that's going to be on the swing trade side of things. Like always, guys, you guys can check out the swing trade evaluation. And I think this is a great way for newer traders to maybe risk less and really try to give yourself the volatilities room so that you can get those big trades on the swings. I wish you guys the best out there. And like always, if you have any questions, throw them up in the chat. It's always good to catch you guys. All right, guys, what's going on? 8LXO for a short. I see you out there, man. And Chewy, we got it. Let's go ahead. Let's get through some of those. Let's take a look first at Chewy. Then I'll take a look at that 8LXO for a short. We'll see. We'll see if it has an opportunity. Chewy has been strong and continuing to move. Chewy has a tendency, and you guys can see this on the chart. When it does pick an uptrend, it has a tendency of getting a couple of days, a nice ride up to longer term resistance. So now that we're past this resistance here, this 24, next level to watch is the 30. 30 is in play, I think, towards that level, just rounding it up. It might be a little bit closer towards 29.50s, but if I just round it up towards the 30, I think that is in play, especially based on the chart here. So now I'd be looking for pullbacks to kind of catch that next move. But don't forget that Chewy is a momentum mover, and it's going to be moving on the momentum. If it breaks that light blue line, I'd be a little bit concerned. But one thing you can see is what? The 50 moving average trying to cross the 200. So you're trying to get what's called that golden cross, and that's right here, team. That's that yellow line crossing over through the purple line. And we'll see what happens when that happens. A lot of times when you get that golden cross, I look for a quick pullback and then another drive to come after that. But we'll keep an eye open for it. 113 could be a problem with the 50 moving average. Yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. Noli, which one was that? Which one were you talking about, the 113? So I can make sure I catch it there. All right, let's go to that ALXO for a short. That's at $8. Biotech just falling fast. My biggest thing is that if you're shorting this stock now, why now? It's down 56% in the last, let's say, 1.3 months. Could keep coming down, but I think at this point, you're kind of chasing on this one. There is a gap underneath that could actually be a buy area, which could be into this spot right underneath it towards the 6. Can it go to the 6? Yes, but I don't see too much on the downside available to me on this ALXO. But hey, wish you the best, man. We'll see what happens on that one. Not really my type of stock, especially after it's already broken down this much. If you are telling me this on this day, on the $15 spot, which was a prior support, that it came back and rejected, like right here, you see this, it's trying to hold, it breaks it and rejects it. That to me was the short right there off of that 15, trying to recover back to 16 and 17, failing, and then just take down in the next couple of days. All right, let's keep going, team. XOM, that was the 114. I like it. Or the 113 level. Thank you, Noli. Definitely one level that I'll be kind of keeping an eye open for. And then you could also watch Chevron for the 160 recovery. There's a lot of these oil stocks that I can keep an eye open for. PSX, another one that's been pulled back, kind of curving, could just turn around and put a big day's candles in. So I'll keep a watch on this one too. I like PSX, Phillips 66. You can put this right underneath, see if it can hold this pullback on the daily towards 137.80s and take out the 140. There's a lot of play there in oil, and it's going to be all dependent on what? On WTI. That's what I at least look at. And that's your front month crude, right? And you guys can see it. We talked about it yesterday. Finally crossing into what? The $80 spot. You can see it here around the 81.38. It's really starting to curve back to the upside. And if you look at it on a year to date, now you're starting to get back above the 80s. Really want to see if it can hold 80 on pullbacks and make a move for this kind of like 86.90 area. We get back above $90 a barrel. Oil stocks will be higher, but the question is, will the market? Find out, team. All right, we'll see what else is going out there. VLO definitely pulling back a little bit here in the spread, but we'll see when the market opens. I'll be trying to add to that Valero long. All right, let's keep going. FKWL. Don't know this one, man, and it's moving all around, so really not my type of stock when you see that low volume. I try to stay away from that kind of low volume. But let's keep getting into it, team. We'll see what other stocks are making a move on the scanners here. Looking around, trying to find if there's anything that really even stands out right now. I'm not seeing too much, guys. I am taking a look around at some different stocks. It's going to be looking like the bigger stocks that we're going to keep an eye open for today. Qualcomm is another one I'll give to take a look open for, because this is very similar to like Nvidia, but doesn't have the sexiness. What do I mean by that? It's business to business, right? It's not, business to consumer. And a lot of traders don't even know what really Qualcomm does. They'll say they do, but they don't really know. So one thing is kind of looking for this to kind of come back here, especially back here towards like 192, the 50 EMA, 196 right now, 195.64. This could start to break down and continue to fade, especially if the market fades off. We'll see what happens. Yesterday, big fade on it. I'd be looking for push back towards hourly resistance to then become to hold that resistance back here towards like the 217 level, and actually put it down there towards 216.70. A slight pop above the 215 towards 216 is what I'd be looking for. I don't want to chase it here towards 213 and 210, but definitely looks pretty weak. All right, we'll see what else is out there, guys. Definitely keep your eyes open for these. Tesla is one of my top watches today, so I'm going back to that chart just because I want to keep an eye open for it. Big level for me was going to be watching that 50% retracement. I do this all the time, team, where I'll just take a retracement tool and I'll be like, okay, so the move kind of went from here on the low on the 11th to here on the high on the 13th. And if I pull back 50%, that puts it right here towards that 179.30. So a lot of times I'll look for that sweet spot to come into play for buy the dip opportunities. Love giving you guys strategies. So smash the like, guys, if you guys enjoy me giving you guys the 50% retracement level for Tesla. All right, LICY. This one's in play, guys. This one has been moving around. LICY, of course, this one's been trying to prop. So I kind of like this, especially after the stock split. It kind of actually helped it here. This was at 1 for 8 here. It's trying to get back above the $5. Came back into this gap zone, broke below it. Now trying to recover that and really start to get going. We'll see what happens to yesterday's high, $5.99, $6. So vital to see if this one really wants to make the move. I'm going to put 550s on alert, but this one doesn't look too bad in the penny stock land. There's not too many this morning, so not a bad one. SMFL. This is Smart for Life. I did see this one trying to make a move yesterday. Really not much on this, but hey, take a look at the daily chart. This has taken multiple spikes into the 7s and 8s and failed every time. So that's another thing to note, is that it does fail often. But let's see if we can get back into this zone here, this gap zone, start to push back here towards the $7. It's one that I'd keep on the radar. Nothing that looks too great for me right now on it, but a move back through 4 will definitely get the alert going. I'll set the alert at 396 there. I'll let you guys know when it starts to cut through. EMPH looks weak, but down $30 already. Have to hold the 108 to watch. Yeah, this is not a bad one to keep an eye open for. EMPH coming right back down and looking like it wants to just fall off the wagon here. First Solar is one that I'll be watching also with this pullback. I've talked about trying to short First Solar through this 272. It eventually cut through, but now I need to see if it starts to act as resistance towards that. So the support right now on the daily is closer towards the 265. So I'd be looking for spikes to reject that move, get back up there towards that hourly high, right around here especially. You got this kind of 262 level and this 268 level on the high side of things, and then looking for a rejection. So you know how we look for a lot of times, sometimes maybe a red to green on the plus side of things, maybe a green to red move here on First Solar coming right back down. So maybe some spike out the gates. We'll be looking to see what happens on that one. PLL, getting a nice spike here, guys. This is a Palladium shares and definitely getting a big spike. So with that one being mentioned, keep your eyes open for maybe a little bit of some different plays out there. What's going on with CCJ? I haven't traded this one in a little while. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart's been trying to recollect, get back above the 9 EMA, the 52. We'll see what happens on CCJ. Valet is one that could maybe turn around with this. Of course, we're talking industrial metals and minerals. Will they start to get going? We look into basic materials, look into the industrial minerals. We're starting to see a little bit of a turn there. So keep your eyes open for this. BHP, Rio fall into this. Valet, Tech is another one that I'd keep an eye open for to see if it starts to turn around. And these are basic materials. All right, we've talked about energy and how that's starting to come around. I've talked about also financials earlier in the week, how these were starting to look like they were going to turn around. And in 3 days, it's already back up there. It's not a crazy move. It's 3%. Even yesterday, I was thinking about taking a Bank of America trade through the 40 spot here. And it did try to make that move, but eventually pulled back a little bit here. We'll see if it can hold $40 and start to move up. XLF is another one that we were taking a look at that kind of caught that trend line and then really started to move right back up. This is the line that we drew, and we drew this on the 17th, guys. So 4 days ago, looking for this to turn around right here on this day. And look at the financials starting to turn and get back to the upside. We'll see if it takes out the 42, but definitely some big up move there. And Morgan Stanley is trying to hold that kind of pullback look to 97. We'll see what happens on these names. First Solar looks nice. Spread could be near the 80 cents. Yeah, that's the problem with the spread on First Solar. It's so hard to come after a name like that. XOM already trying to make a little bit of an up move there. Valero trying to kind of prop, but it's the spread that I'm worried about. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's keep moving, team. There's a lot to talk about today, guys. Smash the like. It's 9:10. We got about 20 minutes for the bell. Smash the like out there. It's always good to see you guys in the chat. Who has a stock that they think is going towards the downside today? Where's the shorts out there? Because it seems like there's some shorts out there for sure. Palantir pulling back. This has been one of the best moves of the week. Now starting to pull back. Be looking for opportunities closer towards 24 and 23 on this one. If it cut through there, it won't be looking too bad here. It definitely looks strong on the daily and weekly pattern, but overall still pulling back for this morning. Look at the weekly. You can see how it's trying to build back here. We'll see if it can kind of build back towards the 24s and then really start to get going through the 25 spot. I'm still looking for a takeout of 30 on the long end. We'll see what happens there on Palantir on this pullback. Nothing looking great. It's Friday. Well, hey, maybe we can go ahead and see some indecision. That's probably what we're seeing there. KAVL, man, this thing's back down to $2. I should have had that feeling when I saw a tobacco stock go from what? I mean, this thing was trading at like $2, $3 and went all the way up there towards $8.37, right back down. It's crazy, man. The manipulation sometimes that happens in these smaller names. That was a manipulated move for sure. That went through the roof. We'll see what happens there. Hollow trying to show up on the scanners. Not much at all there, guys. Got to keep looking around. Success, definitely going to be some traders looking at this as we start to see the turn. action. I like when we start to see the turn. I'd look for hourly pullbacks to start holding 21 into play there. SQQQ also going to be on play today. Be looking for moves back to the trend line. If that holds, then the move higher. So kind of a red to green towards 820s, maybe 819, and then start to work its way back through the 850s. Today is going to be an interesting open. A lot of traders will be watching to see what happens out the gates. Is it a washout, or do we go right back to the upside? All right, looking around, traders, there's still some more on my list that we can go through. Asana is rallying this morning after announcing a $150 million stock repurchase program. So Asana trying to start working its way back. It's down to 1180s. This thing was up there towards 145. Okay, guys, I don't think it's ever going back to that level. I will say that at least. It's down 91%, guys. This is a complete disaster. And I should have known better, man. Asana, that platform, guys, I've used it for jobs, and it just doesn't do much. I mean, does it do anything that's truly competitive advantage? I'll just say it. Hell no, guys. You guys can see it from the price action down to 1180s. This could just continue to keep coming down. Maybe it'll get a little bit of a pop with the repurchase program, but nothing that looks sexy to me on that chart. OLMA. This is a biotech trying to turn things around after a big pullback back towards support. Can it get the move? It's something to watch. It's been up there to 15, 1, 2, 3 times. Let's see if it can start making a move back to 15, and then this time actually be the move that can break it out. If not, it can't fill this gap here to the left. There's a gap here that's really something to kind of keep an eye open for. On the weekly, you won't see it. Let me go ahead and just do the daily and just kind of zoom back so you guys can see this. Let me put it bigger. So you guys see this gap zone. This is where I think it's trying to fill. The only question is, can it get there? You guys can see it's tried to make that run 3 times. This is going to be a vital spot. If it can't make that run into the spot here, I think you start to fail, and coming back down towards the support could mean a break of that 886 level or 850 level. So we'll see what happens here on this one. Doesn't look too bad, OLMA, but really needs to show me that it wants to start working its way back here towards $14.60 and $15. All right, that's OLMA. It's good to see you guys in the chat. What's going on out there, traders? What are you guys seeing making a move? There's so much to talk about here. We're going to keep it going, guys. There's a lot to take a look at. Yesterday, we gave out our prize. If you guys missed yesterday's show, you guys probably didn't see it. But, man, I'm still happy for my man Peter G taking some great prizes from the Rule the Pool competition. And I know that you guys out there should see some credits maybe showing up. If you were in the top 50, let me know if you guys got your credits there. And if you made it to the top 50, it's always good to see you guys. I was a part of the top 50 with you guys, so definitely smash the like. I'm going to keep battling with you guys right here live on Trade the Pool. All right, we'll see what else is coming out there today, guys. Got to keep it going, see what we can come up with. Like always, guys, going to be with you guys daily. So if you haven't done so already, maybe this is your first day. Hit that subscribe button, guys. What are you waiting for? Subscribe every morning so that you guys can hang out, trade with us, learn, look for watch lists in the morning, really find what you're looking for. I'll be able to tell you guys where the stocks are moving, where the big moves are especially, and the catalysts. What's moving these stocks? That's the important one, right? Target was yesterday talking about AI mentions, and this is actually starting to look like it wants to start working its way back up. But, man, it really needs to show it, because this is just on the decline right now. If it could break this weekly trend and actually get back towards the 170, this would actually be looking pretty decent. We'll see what happens there on Target. It's been trying to come back, but look at Walmart, new high and continuing. This is a chart that no one's talking about, but boy, oh boy, does it just continue to make new highs and continues to rip higher. Did do the split right, the 3-for-1, and look at it, $68 and continuing to go higher right now. So Walmart's one of those hidden gains in the market that not too many people are talking about. Yesterday, SMR was one that was on my radar, did not take a win on this one. Took a small hit here, but we'll continue to watch this one for a recovery back through the 978 and a push through 10. Another one that you can watch with this is a diversified industrial name. GE was on the radar yesterday. So I will continue it on the radar as we got kind of an indecision day yesterday. But if it can hold pullbacks right now and take that next leg through, especially Monday's high, 167.50, that's going to be the level to watch for on the upside. Definitely for continuation through the trend line for 170 push. We'll see what happens there on General Electric. It's definitely one that's on my radar. And I love when they get a little bit sleepy here at the top end of the range. Could just do a gap and go and really push through that 164.99, that 165 level. I set an alert at that 164.99. All right, guys, let's keep going. I only got a mini account, nothing else. Hey, nothing wrong with the mini account. You can still make a great amount with that mini account. Get after it, man. I might wait for the Qs to break under 480s. Maybe we find something that is not looking like markets don't like inside days. Yeah, I think today you're going to definitely get an attempt. What I'm looking for is those hourly runs back to resistance. So you see the stock breaks down, right? Let's just say just random. I'm not talking about specifically the Qs, but any stock where it breaks down and goes towards a low, I look for hourly highs to come back to and reject. So you can see it here. It comes down and rejects this first one. Then we get the down move, right? Then we get another up move. Does it even come to that line? I mean, you could pull it to that line. I don't think it got there. It got close to there, but no cigar on that. You still get a down action here, but really not coming back towards that trend line just yet. And so I'm looking for touches off of this 482.50s to then reject. If that doesn't happen, you can easily just come right back up. So be careful out there, traders. There's both sides to the trade, and always knowing both scenarios is what helps me stay in the green. Hollow, well, this one gets moving today. The reason why I kind of am keeping an eye open for this one has the $1 spot right underneath it. It's been trying to work its way back through towards maybe like 125, but I don't see the biggest move on this one. MLGO probably already back down. Ooh, it's actually hanging in off the fours. We'll see what happened on this one. Earlier in the week, we had MBIO, and man, I was shorting off the 119 level and should have taken the swing, man, because this thing's down a crazy amount. I had this one at 117, still made a great day trade on this one. But if you think about it in this way, look at where it's at now. It's down 58%. So this could have been a 58% winner holding on the swing trade side of things. I'm going to continue to watch some of these pennies to see if I can come after them. All right, what other ones you guys have on the penny watch? Which one's making a move, man? OM, 391. We'll see what happens on these. Definitely, they've been pushing up and down. We'll have to look for a breakdown on these. OM, Outset Medical. Don't know this one at all, guys. Let's go back towards the sectors and the industries. Utilities have been making a move, right? I talked about this when I first came on Trade the Pool. That was here. We've made a nice little pullback. We could start setting up for the next launch here. So XLU is one that I'd keep on the radar. Also, you can see the trend line starting to come back here. It's been trying to make it a little bit of a bottom. You got a good volume day yesterday. So maybe we get a little bit of a pullback and then that rip higher through the 70s. Doesn't look too bad. Nextera Energy is one that I'd kind of keep an eye open for it. Excel Energy. Will this start to work way back to the upside? Duke, 100. Can it hold that? We'll see what happens there. All right, and then with that being mentioned, for a faster mover in this area, Bloom Energy looks like a nice flagging pattern here that I'd keep an eye open for. Nice volume that came in just recently. Now, can it start to work its way back? Holding pullbacks towards 1385s is a level that I'd be looking for. Especially, it's right underneath it, team. Multiple levels to kind of keep an eye open for this Bloom Energy Corporation. All right, let's keep going, guys. I don't see too many stocks being mentioned in the chat, and that's just showing me it's kind of a a day where they're looking for trades. And if they're looking for trades, let's look for the easy trade. I know that earlier traders were talking about this in the week. What do I mean by easy trades? Setups that are already present. Nothing that I need to kind of confuse myself. Just looking for those setups to kind of play in here. Apple starting to work its way back to the upside. Nvidia starting to come down here already, 127.30s, and it's trying to break through the pre-market low of 126.75. This is going to be an important one to watch because if Nvidia goes, AMD could crack back. Look at AMD now, though, spiking into the 162s. Talked about the pullback to the 160 holding, and that would be where the bulls would maybe take their shots. And look at these 3 wicks through the 160 and reversal back to the upside. So that tells me keeping an eye on Tesla, the Tesla Dragon, one of my top watches today. We'll see what happens. This is going to be my watch out the gates, guys. I'm looking for a quick decline and then a quick rip. If it just rips out the gates, I can look for pullbacks to the VWAP. We'll see what happens there. Of course, my VWAP is that dotted line you see on the charts. All right, JBHT, JB Hunt down here and trading all around. This is probably earnings here. I can take a look here. Let's go ahead. Let's pull up Benzinga Pro, see what we're finding out there in the market today. I'm going to my watch list here. Let's actually pull up the details tab, see what I can find out about this one. All right, let's take a look here. This is JBHT. Looks like I'm not seeing too much news this morning out on it. It's not an earnings play, but it's definitely moving all around here. This could be kind of one of those off-exchange prints that are just getting picked up. AAL, how is American Airlines? Delta was one that I tried to short yesterday. It didn't really break down. We'll keep an eye open for it. It hasn't gone anywhere in like pretty much close to a month, man. So we'll see what happens on that one. XRT trying to make a little bit of a push this morning. We'll see if that can make the nice little lift. I'll continue to watch that. Advanced Auto Parts, JWN, some big names in this. KSS, how's this looking? What about Macy's? Macy's looking like it's trying to break down, actually. Breakdown through here. Ain't going to be looking too good for Macy's. We'll find out today if XRT can hold on. All right, looking around, traders, what are you guys taking a look at? I did see the SRPT breakdown. Let's take a look here. SURTA starting to get that break. Let's take a look here. I know that we drew some hourly levels here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that. So 163.50 break. It did break that and trying to recover it right now. We'll look to see if it can actually hold that level and then just break down back through that 161. I like how it bounced off of that level. So that's one thing that we can watch for. So now I'd be looking to see, does it go back through this level here, this 165? That's going to be the important level on the 1 minute for me. If I go to the 5 minute, I can see here, the 5 minute can have it doing a move closer towards that 165.55. But look at that rejection right there. Not a bad little level there, that 163.50 rejection. Will it just cut through the 161? We'll have to wait to the 9:30 really to find out. But doesn't look too bad there on SURTA. I wish you luck, Shane. It really doesn't look that bad. It's just going to be more of a matter. Look at the spread. So the spread here is very hard to trade. That's 163.50 by 163.25. And on trade the pool, it might, let's see. It's 163. It's 129 ticks there in between, guys. So just be careful out there. I'll wait for the market to open on this one so that I can try to get in between the spread, right? Pre-market fills in between that spread, probably going to be the best. And look how the offer jumps there to 164. It's too wide for me right now, guys, but I'll keep it on the radar. SRPT. AMD, we'll see what happens on that one. It does look strong there, guys. It's going to move all around. It's one that I definitely keep a radar for. Daily chart can really get going. Look at the amount of volume that was traded in this yesterday. This is what you kind of needed. A volume like you got on this day when it started to break out, right? 100 million shares traded yesterday. So, hey, this is one that I'd watch for that 160 pullback. But as long as it's holding 160, you're still looking pretty decent. Got to look for a push through that 170 overall on the weekly. You can see this on the weekly chart, how it's trying to recover here and get back towards that 170. It's going to be vital because the breakdown back through that 160, and you could really start to cut down. Nice cut, nice cut. Yes, freshy fresh, man. Looking good, guys. Gotta look fresh, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. It's Money Mitch, looking good, ready to fade this market like I just got the fade, guys. So we'll see what happens. You guys see it, XOM. You guys see the charting action here. Trade the Pool right in front of me, guys. And then, of course, my trade window that you guys see is right to the left of me. And I got a top window here where you guys are hanging out. I need some more windows, more computers. So definitely smash the like, guys. Support me as I support you guys. Let's keep it going. Let's get back to the chart action and see what we can come up with towards the bell. Tesla's my top watch on the market today. We'll see what happens. This is already starting to get some volume. I definitely don't want to miss it if it just shoots off like a rocket. There it is. Look at that, guys. Someone bought up Tesla there. Hey, if you're listening out there, don't be yelling out there too much. They can hear you sometimes. Look at the spread starting to go there. So now I can start heading and trying to get this, guys. I really would like to take a shot on this. Let me go ahead and switch out of my swing trade account, making sure that I'm switching over, guys, and getting over to my day trade side of things. Let's see if I can get a pullback here towards 181.50, but it's already moving. That's 182 already, and this is a nice bottoming off that 181 attempt, so we might not get that 179. Now I'm looking for pullbacks to maybe play towards 181.20s, so that's what I'm looking for on Tesla. And you guys know it was my top play. It's already making that move up 66 cents. We'll see if it's really starts to get going at the gates. Off topic, TradingView having a 70% sale. Well, hey, there's always charts and out there, sales that you'll be looking at. For services, definitely look for sales, man. Those things will definitely help you out. And also try to test things out and see if it really helps you, if it benefits you. TradingView, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I like TC over it. But you guys got to find what you like, right? And we also got, of course, TrendSpider that you guys can check out. I've checked out TrendSpider. I like how they have those technicals that are already put in, so it can kind of tell you what the computer sees. That's also an important thing to kind of catch. All right, it's going to be a fun day for sure. Really looking to see what happens there with NVIDIA, Apple, Dell. Dell was just declining yesterday, and this could just start ramping back, right? Looks like that cup and handle came into play faster than we thought. They didn't fill the gap there. Now I'm looking for the handle to start working at the 143 to start working its way back to 160. This one's moving fast. SMCI is pulling back here. This could pull back here towards the trend line approach. So I'd be looking for that at least attempt towards this high here. The high is 883.17. So that's kind of the level that I'd be looking for on pullbacks. The high right there. We'll see what happens. Let's go to Tesla here. The bell is here, guys. Got to pay attention to Tesla. That's my top trade of the day. Let's get after it, team. You guys know where you're at, and you know what time it is. It's time. Traders, be safe out there, guys. We don't know what's going to happen today, of course, with the triple witch coming into play, option expiration. We're going to be looking all around to see what happens in the market. I'm seeing XOM already making a move. I would like to add to Valero, but that's already making that move. Q's straight down out the open, looking around, team, trying to find a nice little dip buy here on Tesla. We'll see what happens. There's a little bit of a dip here. We'll see if it really kind of cracks down and then starts working its way back to the upside. I definitely like it here. It's rejecting kind of to come right back through that 182s, and there's that 182 break right back below. We'll see if it gets some opportunities to dip by towards the 181.20s. I'd like to see an attempt to break that 181 and then comes back up, but you can see there's already some buying coming off of the VWAP right there, that 182.19 level. Let's get after it, team. If you guys see a stock that's making a big move, we can definitely take a look at some other action there. The journaling on TrendSpider is another level. Hey, always got to find things that work for you. There's Tesla already strong there towards 182.60. You guys know it was my top watch of the day. And regardless if I trade this or not, This is what I call that money rain in here, because somebody's taking that rain, guys. Somebody's making that money. And I'm just glad that I was able to put out that as one of the top plays for the playbook this morning. Like always, guys, you guys got to call your own shots, but big push there in Tesla towards the 183.40s almost now. Look at that move there. Now we're really starting to make a move, and it's going to be hard to grab it here. I'm going to look for pullback opportunities, but man, look at that. Back up towards 184 and hot to start the day, guys. Not a bad move there. I'm just glad I was all over it for you guys. Smash the like out there, team. You guys know where you're at. It's trade the pool time. Got to get after it. Try to find a nice trade there. Q's coming back a little bit there. We'll see how that works out. Let's go ahead and bring up my trade idea scanner. We just talked about deals that you guys can be coming after. Well, one of the ones is, of course, trade ideas. There's always something that you guys can find on these scanners, man. They have every scanner available to you pretty much. KRKR, one of the top names that I see right now. Let's take a look at that. 57 cents there, trying to make a move here back towards the pre-market high of 70 cents. Doesn't look too bad here in the morning. Up one, down one, up two. Well, up one, down one, up two, down one, down two, up three. I'd be looking for one more pullback into this. So one attempt towards 53 and then the takeoff is what I like, but we'll see what happens. This is a smaller name. We'll see if it really starts to push back towards that pre-market high. Tesla getting all the way up there now, starting to pull back here. Now I'm going to look to see if I can get that Tesla pullback. If it can come back to 181, I'll definitely start coming after it. I wanted to wash out some of the opening buyers, and then I can come into it. OM is a volume thrust. That's up there to 440s, and this is actually thrusting pretty strong here, guys. Daily chart has a resistance towards the 460s and 5. We'll see if this can hold pullbacks to 4. But OM, big push there to start the day. RCKT showing up. Rocket Pharmaceuticals. Not too much of a bad one there. Yosh. I think we have a Yosh in the chat, right? Yosh, you're moving, man. All right, taking a look around here. Tesla back then towards the 183.15s, but not back to VWAP just yet. I would like to see a takedown back towards 181. Let's see what happens there. NVIDIA, how's that one doing? There's the push back here towards that. Let's see the hourly resistance. Where does that come into play? Does it come into that 130 and then reject? That's one level that I'm looking at. SRPT, we just talked about that level here given by my man Shane in the chat. Let's take a look at that level. I actually don't mind this here. I'd have to come after it pretty slow because it's kind of like a really fast mover. So maybe at 20 shares each, maybe even 10 shares each, and then try to work the entries up higher. 163.50s is kind of the level that I'd be looking at to kind of see that just pop above and then reject. We've already gotten to 164.48s. So let's see if that finally does reject and this starts to go lower. My man Shane gave us this trade in the pre-market. We'll see how it works out here. Doesn't look too bad. I like it. I'd look for one more attempt to that 63.50s. Let's see if I can get it there. All right. I don't mind taking the shot off of that. Maybe the 65.50s. So it's a $2 risk there. About 50 shares. It's a max trade I can do there. Let's go about it at, we can do 10 and then try to ladder it here. Let's see what we can do here. I'm willing to take the shot off Shane's trade idea. Of course, this is Shane's trade idea. It doesn't mean that it has to be your trade idea, right? I'm going to go ahead and try to do that trade there. I did 163.50s there. Let's see if this starts to work its way back. SRPT. Looking for a little bit of a decline on this one. I'm seeing the Qs start to push up a little bit, so you just got to be a little bit careful with that. But it doesn't look too bad there to maybe reject that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a limit entry here. I'm looking at 164 on the first entry here. I just moved it up to 164. It is spiking here, so I'm going to actually move it up a little bit here. Let's actually cancel on the first ad there. I don't have an entry just yet. I do want to get one here, but I want to give it the chance to pop off through the 165 first and then try to take it down. So give it that chance to give me the offer at 165 and then watch to see it break down. That's what I'm going to look for, Shane. We'll see if it works out. Like always, man, don't worry about it. I appreciate just a trade idea. And sometimes I'll take the trade ideas also what you guys are looking at. All right, 163 by 163.50s here. So it's getting up there on the offer, but not on the bid side. I need that 163.50 on the bid side with a breakout opportunity through that 165. We'll see what happens, guys. Smash the like. AMD, I'll take a look at that AMD. AMD, big push to 163, starting to pull back there to 162. I'd like to see it go down to 160 really quickly and then just ramp back towards the upside. That's just one attempt that I could be looking at. This SURTA is just like spreading out here, and that's a little bit hard. It could just fade down here, but I'm going to wait a little bit here. Asana showing up on the scanners. That's actually spiking, guys. This is getting a short squeeze type of look here, up there to 225s from the 11s. Doesn't look too bad there. It's only about a 50-cent spike, but definitely it's moving there. SPEC, which was one of the top movers this morning. I was taking a look at it. Didn't really do too much in the morning action. Now it's trying to hold this 70 spot. Can it go for the $1 break? We've been seeing so many of these that have been doing the $1 break. Doesn't look too bad there as it's holding that 75 cents there. This could get going and start making its move to $1. It's definitely getting a lot of volume in here. This is a pollution and treatment control stock. What that means, a little part of me doesn't even know, man. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's just say I don't trade this industry often, but it's in the industrial sector, so it's something to note. GE straight down out the gates here, guys. If I take a look at the scanners here in the sectors, healthcare, utilities leading, defensive, downside, financials, basic, and industrials this morning. SURTA still not going back down below that. That 163.50 really, I think, has some resistance right now. I'm just a little bit concerned about the spread going to 165 and then take off through 167. So I'm looking for that attempt to fail and then start to come down. We'll see what happens there. Q's starting to come right back down, guys. So be careful out there, traders. Definitely going to see a little bit of a swing today, guys. Look at the Q's right back down, guys. It did bounce out the gates and right back towards the downside. So SQQQ starting to hold that 839s. Could look for a little bit of a scalp if I wanted to go for that. Also, SOXS is another one that we were looking at. 22's holding well on that. Starting to push there. Tesla might give me that pullback with that Q's pullback. I'm still looking for it. It's holding in right now off the VWAP. It's been a good move out the gates. I hope somebody was able to nail that Tesla trade. Right now, I'm just looking for pullback opportunities. All right, SRPT, still no move on that through towards the 165 level. It's not even giving me the 163.50s. So I'd have to chase this a little bit here, and I don't want to chase. It's just the spread's a little wide. If I do come after it, it would have to be with a smaller size to give me the room to deal with the kind of the change there. MBIO showing up there, starting to get a spike to the 60 cents. AREB, now another one that's trying to get there towards that $1. There's so many of these kind of penny names trying to get there. American Rebel Holdings. This is the shoe and footwear accessories. Don't know this one. Clover showing up today. Clover Health. This is definitely a retail name that they definitely know. So it's not a bad one. It is making a nice move, but not much levels that I would be going off of. It's not recent action. Etsy showing up on the scanners. That's a random one to see making an up move. How's the XRT trade? That is one that I need to go ahead and keep an eye open for. Of course, this is on the swing trade side of things, but it is pulling back right now. We'll see what happens on this one. SURTA now starting to cut down there. So the Shane trade could work out off that 163.50s. I didn't get an entry there, but I wish you the best, Shane. Took Tesla at the 181.74. A shout out to you, man. Way to kill it. Way to kill it. Get it, Luis. Smash the like, guys, if you guys enjoyed that. Move stop to BE. Okay. We're going to take a look at BE, Bloom Energy. Yeah, that's cutting down there, man. Utilities coming down a little bit there. I'll see if this can recover, but definitely a quick deal of down spike there. It could hold kind of yesterday's low 333s and then start to work its way back. But this one moves fast, man. Asana, the one that we were watching, starting to get a little spike there. It's up there to 1220s. Maybe it declines back towards 1190s. Seem to make sense, or 1185s. MIMM. Okay, not looking too bad. This looks like the cup and handle pattern that we've been seeing consistently work out for penny stock names. So let's see if this one works out here. It's definitely trying to do the cup and handle pattern right around this level. One level that you always look for is the left hand close. If that can hold, that's at 419 level right now. So if it could hold maybe like a 430 touch and then right back up through the 475, doesn't look too bad here. Up one, down one, up two, down two, up three, down three. It had that attempt to break out really. So I'd like to see it hold the 30s here and then just get back towards the 475. I'm not taking the trade right now, but it does look like an opportunity here off that 432. MINM. Let's take a look there. I can maybe try to get the shot here if I could get a nice little opportunity. And there's SURTA with a rip to the upside. That's what I was a little bit concerned about. We'll see what happens there. All right, this MINM right back towards the 447s was a good look there at the 430s. It went to 428s, now starting to come back. Let's see if it takes the 475 and goes to $5 spot here. The 1 hour level is right off of that $5. 470s, an important level to see it kind of take back. We'll see if it does that on this next move. There's 450s, there's 460s. Let's see if it takes the 470s and starts to really rock and roll here. Not a bad perspective. Didn't take the trade there. Was just kind of more doing commentary, but not a bad look there. And why was I looking at that level? The 9 EMA, guys, talk about it often. Look at the light blue line. Look how it pulled back right to it, giving you that ability to look for buy the dip opportunity. Then I used another level, the 419, to have a risk. Big pop back towards that 470s, 466. You see how that 470 is going to be vital. If it could take that 470 here, that's going to be a big important level to watch. And it's also an important level on the hourly chart. There you go, Wisdom. Get after it, man. All out of it, Mitch. Profit. Get that, Shane. Get it, man. Hey, no problem, man. It's good to kind of get a level for you. And I love to see the approach. It wasn't a bad approach at all. Now, we got back above the 165. This is when I actually like to come after it. So this is when I actually like to come after it, guys, because at least now I at least have my level that I know the out is back above that 167. So it's about a $2 risk here. I could get the 165 entry and then try to risk off $2. So I got to understand that, right? And so it's a pretty big risk there for this $2 spot. So just for circumstances here and to try to maybe take a trade here, I'm going to go ahead and do it off of 20 shares here. Let's see if we can get the 165 entry here. All right, orders out there, 165, trying to get an entry on a little bit of a bounce and then the takedown right back through the low. The low is 157.25, so that still leaves me a nice potential gain there if it starts to break that down. Let's see what happens here, guys. Let's see if I get the fill. I always give you guys exact levels that I'm trying to get filled on because the truth is, ain't going to be too many traders that give you this. All right, just getting some alerts. Let me go ahead and check what alert that is. That's SURTA, and that's GE. GE is definitely one that I'll keep an eye open for. Let me see if GE is making, down move in GE. Down move back in AMD, and that's what I kind of was a little bit concerned, that 160 washout. I'm going to look to see if Tesla can wash down, but the Qs are a little bit heavy here towards the bottom. We'll see if it breaks 480s. Big spot that was watched out this morning. I'm trying to get an entry in SURTA. Let's see what happens here, guys. Still no entry in SURTA just yet. Q's coming down a little bit there. No fill for me in SURTA just yet there, guys. I'm trying to get a little bit of a fill here. All right, I'm going to pull it up here towards 165.50s, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it in on this and try to go ahead and try to get an entry here. 164.83s, just got my entry there, willing to add just above it for 40 shares. Then I really got to go ahead and hold off there. But for right now, setting the stop there towards the 167, that's about a $50 risk from where I am right now. Let's take a little bit of a shot here. SURTA to the downside, the short side. Evil shorts. We'll see what happens here, guys. SURTA to the short side of things. We'll see if I get my other ad here towards 160. Oh, 165.50s. There's a little bit of a cut down right back below, guys. I'm trying to add here towards that 165.60s here. Still no add there. If I do get the ad, I'm leaving it there for the kind of spread ad. Like if I get just a little pop there, I can spread ad and then look for this to really kind of take down. Have it out there at 165.62. So I could spread it up there towards 165. Let's do it at 166 for just in case a quick little spread that pops and fills me. There it is. There's that spread kind of pop fill. So let's see if I get that 166 entry. I'm still risking off the 167 here. All right, another scanner alert there. So I'm looking around, guys, seeing the Qs just bounce off that 480s. Clean spark, straight down action there. We'll see what happens. Looking around, trying to catch what you guys are looking at here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the chat. What's up out there, guys? Base hit day. Hey, take it, man. There is no one that I know that trades so openly like Mitch, a true gentleman with integrity. I'm telling you, man, I don't think there is anybody out there that trades like me, especially on giving up that what I see out there, guys. All right, guys, I'm getting a spike here. I got to make sure that I know my out. My risk is about 101.80 here. I'm looking to risk there towards the 167.95s. Big spike there in SURTA. I'll show you guys the trade. Let's see if I get stopped out. If I do, hey, it is what it is, but I always will show you guys it here. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if this can break right back down below the 165. That's going to be an important level. If it just cuts down through the 165, I'm looking good here. We'll see what happens. You see the risk there. The profit take would be a move back below the low of the day. And that would be a move where we cut down 300. So a 3-to-1 outlook here. Let's see if it works out. This is what I always try to do, a 3-to-1 outlook. So regardless of what happens here, nice little setup. Let me give myself a tiny cents here towards 168.03. Just a couple pennies there to see what happens there. But looking for this to start breaking right back down. If it doesn't do it, hey, so be it. We'll look around at some other trades in the market. Now that we already have the stop set, we can go ahead and look for another trade here. Let's keep it going, team. There's a little bit of a push there. Could get the stop out right now here. It's right off of the offer there, so I could get a little bit of a trigger out here. Moving it up to 168.08 just to give myself a little bit of room. There's 2,000 shares right there at 168, right there on the dot, and then 168.06. So I'm slightly just above that just to make sure that I can at least get around that seller there at the 168. We'll see if this cracks right back. If I take 100 hit, hey, we keep battling, man. That's what it's all about, man. One trade could get us right back in. Clover Health up there to the 128, still holding in pretty well there. AREB, let's take a look there. That's 70-cent stock there. There, I got just the trigger out there in SURTA. There's a hit there, guys. Let me go ahead and change this up there so you guys can see that. Down 163 to start the day today, guys. Got to battle. Here you guys see it. I always show you guys it all. Definitely going to be looking to bounce back. Down 163. Let's see if I can bounce back today. MINM. Pulled back to that 450. Now back to the VWAP. Let's see if it gets back towards that 470. Did you see how it rejected that again? That's a big level to watch for the rejection level. We'll look to see if this comes right back. But now it's on a 5-minute attempt here for a cup and handle. And that's how it can go, team. You can go from a 1-minute cup and handle to more of a 5-minute cup and handle approach here. Big level to see it get back through is the 438s. Let's see what happens now. 420s, trying to hold in multiple bottoms towards the 413s. Let's see if this can recover 420s and get back up to the 475s. All right, there starts to kind of get a little bit of a setup there. I don't mind taking a shot on this one also. It's at least a penny stock mover that's moving. All right, we'll see if this can actually start making a move here. Let's see how it is on the RSI. It actually kind of came down on that RSI move, so it's actually not a bad look here. Just needs to recover and then go right back through the 450s. 413 is the out right now. It's only about 10-cent risk here, so I might take a little bit of a kind of a 500 share position here. Start to see what happens here in MINM. There's a little bit of a pullback here. I'll look to see if it gets back above the VWAP right now. Letting it try to do this takedown move and then start to work its way back. Let's see if it does it here. There's that attempt to break down through the low, right? Now let's see if it just scoops right back through, goes red, right back to the green move. Then I can use that low, which is 408 right now. So you got to know the risk there. It's about 20 cents. It's about $100 that I'd be risking if I take this trade. Q is continuing to break down there. So that's the sign of concern, is that the market's breaking down. Will this one go with it? Still kind of breaking down, guys. Still not turning back towards the green candle. That's what I'm looking for. It wants to start working its way back. Volume is really low on this pullback too. That just shows me also that maybe there's not too much selling, but there was definitely selling out the gates here on this one. All right, doesn't seem too bad off this 417. We'll look to see if we start to get a recovery here. Q's just getting whacked, man, whacked right back down. That SURTA could eventually come right back down too. Q's are getting hit hard, 478 and coming down fast, team. Look at that, 478 down fast. If I look at what's getting hit the most today, basic materials and technology, big flush there. How's Qualcomm? That was one that I was looking at this morning for a trade there. It is coming down there towards the 209. Did Tesla pull back far enough? Yeah, it is pulling back far enough. It's down there towards the 181 level. Going to look for a little bit of a flush through and back towards that 179.30 level, and then watch it recover on the day. Would love to see it wash out some bulls and then come right back up. So let's see what happens here, guys. It's off that 181 level. Q still coming down pretty fast. SURTA turning back to the downside there. I'm not going to come after it right now, but it could be one that could break down a little bit later in the day. Billy showing up there on the scanners. That's been hot lately since they put out a new game in China. And that's pushing pretty strong if you're looking for something that's at least up on the day. Gilead is another one that was up on the day. It's pulling back right now, back towards the 71, trying to hold that, come back through the 72. But it's a hard hold there. MINM now back towards the 430, so not looking too bad off of that little move there. It definitely kind of held in there for a second. That would have been that 417 back towards the 430s, but it's kind of going slowly right here. Not much volume came in on that buying. All right, looking around for some other names here. LPSN, live person, getting a little bit of a spike here. This is definitely kind of more of your squeezing type name. We'll see what happens on that. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. I'm seeing DAL with the breakdown. There you go, Bulls. Get it, Bullseye. Get it, my friend. Get it. Get after it, man. Thanks, Mitch, for buying my sell on MINM. I didn't buy it. CrowdStrike with Paul mentioned in the chat. I like to see you, Paul. It's good to see you out there, man. DAL, I could come after this one again today, man. This one cut me out yesterday. I don't mind it. I just need to see this kind of really start to break down. Let's see if I can get 49, 40, 40s right here. This one is actually one that I've been trying to come at for a while now, guys. So looking at the potential trade right now, it's about 50 cents to the downside. All right, let's see if we can get a rejection here to start coming back up and then reject and then go right back through the low. All right, guys. A lot more for you guys today. All right, guys. Give me 1 second. Got some noises in the background here. Just going to hit mute. All right, guys, definitely smash the like out there, guys. Trying to look for some more trading action. Let's see what we can do, man. DAL. Qs are kind of balancing out there. We'll see what happens if we actually start to get the move up. Tesla's kind of going sideways there. AREB definitely on the scanners and continuing their cup and handle kind of pattern there. It's kind of held there. I'd say this kind of bore that flag back towards the upside, 75 cents. Good move there. MINM back down to the 415s. This one could start to break down. We'll see what happens if it starts to break and give that $4 up. That's really the level that it starts to really break down. Or will it kind of catch some more buyers here by the VWAP? What's your favorite, gold, long, or swing, please? Okay, well, if I'm looking gold, Wisdom, I'm looking at GOLD, and if I'm looking for a trend, I like AU. The way that AU trades is a tendency of being like long up moves followed by long down moves, right? So you can see it on the chart. You see how this thing has a tendency of when it actually goes, it makes a big long up move. And then when it actually breaks down, it's a big long down move. So I like the way that AU trades. It's usually hard to get the first entry, but if you can start getting that nice little, trend higher, I've ridden AU up for a good trade before. But definitely, Wisdom, like always, check it out. Another one, if you just want day trading action, JNUG, right? Now you're looking at leverage trades there, but just calling them out there, guys. KAVL down to 155, man. And we should have known something about this one. Yep, in AU myself. Thanks for the wisdom. Hey, you know how it is, man. Wisdom giving us wisdom. All right, Sarepta actually, oh man, I might have top ticked the out there in Sarepta. And that's going to be a little tough there. SRPT, I probably top ticked that, man. Right there on that wick right here, got out there, man. So we'll see what happens on this one if it starts to break down. Doesn't look too bad there. Gilead, is that breaking down? It pushed up and then came right back to the downside. All right, let's go taking a look there. How's the DAL? This is starting to break down there, guys. It could just let go here on the daily. We'll see what happens. Daily chart has a nice little cut down below here through the 49 that could go back towards the 48. That's kind of the level that I see there that makes sense for me. So I would love for this to come right back towards 49.50s and then I can hit it. But I first got to look for that action back to the trend line. So trend line action, and then the fade. So let's see if we get a bounce off this trend line. It comes back up. And then when it comes back through that trend line, that's when I would be looking to hammer down on it. All right, what other trades out there are making moves in the market? How's the GameStop life, man? That thing hasn't been doing anything. And when it gets sleepy, that's usually a tendency when we get the pops, man. So I'd keep an eye on it back through 26 later in the day. But with the market coming down, this is definitely dragging on it. We'll see what happens. It's holding in there right now off the 25s. Something tells me some traders are looking at that 25 level. We'll see if this starts to make a move here. It's 24.90s on the bottom there. Out is 24.73 on the low of the day. Doesn't look too bad here to maybe see a little lift there in GameStop. Problem is there's not much going on. I'd have to risk off the low for this one. All right, looking around Valero. Valero's at 152. I'm still looking for some pullbacks on that one. Oil overall, not looking too bad. XOM holding in here. Let's see if it really starts to make a move. XLE is another one. Gush for the 35 recovery. Doesn't look too bad. 5 minutes, keeps bottoming. I'm going to look for, let's see it here. Down 1, up 1, down 2, up 2, down 3, up 3. Should have broke down that last breakdown through the 34.50s. So that's going to be the add area if I do add. Now I'd start to look for the trend to change and break through the 35. So I'm looking for a little pullback into the 34.60s here to start a starter here, but I don't mind stepping up to the plate on Gush. Gush. All right, let's see if I can get this, guys. I don't mind it at all. I kind of like this setup here. I've been looking at Gush for a potential move back to the upside through that 35 level. Is so important. Bid back down towards that 60 area, looking for that to actually hit offer to the 60s, but it could just jump here and get moving. There's the 34.80s there, guys. So pullbacks to the 75s is kind of what I'm looking at for a starter. All right, 80s showing up there. It might not give me that chance to get the pullbacks here, so I might get a starter right here at the 34.80s. They're going to look for that downturn here on pullback. 5 minutes. Come and hit me. Come and hit me. So what I'm looking for is a pullback towards this level, this 34.69. All right, starting to see that start to get the move. There's 77 showing up there on the offer. Let's see if I can get there towards the 70s and really start to size in on this. No entry just yet, but I'm going to be taking it. It looks really nice for me on the setup here. Probably come at it at 300. It's holding that 80 pullback. I just don't want it to take off to 35 without me just yet here. Let's see what happens. All right, looking around in the chat, not much action in the chat. That just shows me more and more how there's indecision in the market right now. So we got to be careful, team. Keep looking at trades that make sense for you, risk to return wise. That's what I'm trying to do and bounce back on the day. All right, 34.71 is the VWAP right now. I'm looking at least for the offer to jump towards that 71 here, but it's kind of holding in on the 80s. Could just take off there. Q's bouncing a little bit there. Still looking for the dip down below. Hourly levels here, guys, could make a little bit of a pullback back attempt towards the 34.60s and then start to turn around. I'm really looking for that 35 push. XOM pushing strong there. So that just also just goes to show me that, hey, it's not a bad area to be in. Energy overall is down on the day, but I'm going to look for this to go green. So you see it here at 0.4. I'm going to look for that to actually go green there. It's negative just slightly here. All right, guys, it's kind of like balancing out there and just doesn't want to make the move. I'm going to get a starter there, 200, looking for pullbacks on the ad, but I just want to at least have a starter there. So I'm in on Gush, 34.84. No action, market weak, says Nate Trader. It's good to see you in the chat, Nate. It's just a new name that I don't see too often. SRPT rallying back through the high of the day. Look at that push. Remember the SQQQ was 17. Oh, the good old days. Yeah, the good old days indeed. All right, little pullback there. That's why I'm glad I just went in with a small little size of the entry. Now looking for the little pullback to kind of give me that opportunity here. So a little bit into this is really what we want to see kind of get back through. So into this zone right here, looks like an interesting area for pullback ads for me. So that's going to be a pullback towards what, 70 and 63s. Let me go ahead and here put 68s on the ad and just have a limit already out there for the pullback. Boom. Limits out there for the pullback ad. All right, it's already approaching the break above this 34.90s here, guys. I might just add and then just hold right underneath it. And if I need to get out for a small loss, I can. There's the 89 starting to show up there. This could just make a move above the 35s and just push. So that's what I'm looking for. Quick pullbacks here to add. Let's see if we can get it. No pullback just yet. Still looking strong there. Let's see if it takes a 35. Valero, another one that I can keep a watch on to see if this starts to make a move. PSX, another one that we were talking about earlier that looked like it could do like kind of an undercut right back down to the downside, then start working its way back. It actually looks good off the 5-minute level and the 1-minute level to start working its way back above. Especially the 139 close above today would look good on PSX. I don't mind it at all. We'll see what happens on that one. Gush. I'm gushing, man. I'm gushing. What's up out there? Are you getting some love out there, Nate? All right, team, let's keep it going, team. It's kind of a little bit of a slower day right now. And now we're starting to push here 34.86 here on Gush. And it could just start gushing. Haha. Pun intended, but it's trying to make the move. Just no pullbacks right now. There's a quick one. There's that 34.70s, 34.79. Got my offer at my limit at 34.71. Looking for a little pullbacks into this spot to kind of get filled. All right, maybe a lower 70s here with a slight tick. So I'm going to 75 here, guys. You can always add on the offer and just jump on the limit or the market. Not doing much, man. Let's go looking elsewhere. Let's go to the Qs right now. Let's see what's going on here. You can see how it's holding in there. We'll see if it actually does do the breakdown. DAL back to that level there. I definitely want to keep an eye open on DAL to see if it can make that move. It just got a lot of volume in on that. That was 83,000 shares there. So let's see if it does a takeoff through here, or does it do the breakdown? That's one thing that I'd keep an eye out, but definitely somebody's playing in on that DAL. All right, that just held there on Gush. So I'm going to go ahead and try to step up to the plate in Gush. I'm stepping up here, guys, just trying to go ahead and get the starter and then just kind of hold towards a risk here. I already have the starter there, just added there. Now I got to go ahead and set the risk here. I'm going to set the risk tight to begin with because I think this could just do a takeoff. Only a $40 risk there down to 34.76. Let's see if this can really start to push on Gush. So looking for a 35 push average right here, 34.86. You guys see it there. Let's see if it can really start to push. Not a bad one to kind of keep an eye out on the Gush. All right, looking at it. Let's go back to the DAL trade that I was looking at. I'd like to see it pop one more time towards that 49.50s, then get hit there. But I will take a look at what's going on the level 2s. So that was a lot of volume that came in there. Qs kind of looking a little bit heavy there. Will they flush DAL today? All right, we'll see if it kind of gets that 49 recovery, then fails here. So you can see how we kind of started to curl back to it. Let's see if this plays out here. All right, just got me an Audi A4. The tires are going to die. Ooh, the burnouts, man. Oh, gotta find videos of my old burnouts. But yeah, I love doing burnouts, man. There's nothing like a good first to second burnout, man. Keep it going in second gear. Let's go. If you're really a badass, you might have a supercharger. Keep it going in third. Nothing like it, man. Clover Health, man, continuing to just slowly climb. And here's one that we were talking about in the pre-market. Man, this one got going fast there, guys. Life cycle here, really pushing strong, man. So if you guys see this one, what a move there. This one got going fast there, up there to the 540s. MINM, just hanging out, man. That thing came back there and just ran into the wall at 440s. We'll look to see what happens on this one. Not much, though. Just stuck sideways right now. DAL starting to already try to break down. I want to come after it, but I definitely need to let it spike first. If I jump at it and chase it here, that's easy how I get wrecked. All right, Gush still holding in on that 85. Still trying to make the move. It still just hasn't broken out. So just looking at Gush right now. Holy moly. All right, let's see if Gush can actually start making that move. It's 34.87s now. It's holding in. It could do that little bit of a pullback to 34.77s. So that's why I'm keeping that into play, but it's looking good now. It's starting to lift there, 34.90s. Gushy Gush. Now the 34.90 is actually looking pretty decent there. 34.75s for ads on pullbacks. So I'm just keeping that in mind here. Here's a little bit of a pullback here. We could get a little bit of a pullback, especially to that 75 spot. I'm increasing the risk right now to 60. I just want to let you guys know 34.71 is my out there. Seeing the Qs start to come back, and that's one thing to note. The Qs come back. What comes into the green? What was red that goes into the green? So energy, utilities, real estate, those types of names, technology, just slightly red. I want to see if these go green. And if these that were green early, the sectors up here at the top, the defensive, communication services, healthcare, do those go to the red? That's one thing to kind of note. We'll see what happens. Gush pushing and trying to take that 35, trying to go ahead and take a quick move. XOM not doing too much there. Valero is trying to hold in on that 152.25. Of course, I got that swing trade on that one. XRT coming back here. That's actually not looking too bad. What's up in XRT? Let's see what's holding up XRT here. We can maybe take a look at Etsy. Etsy with a decent day there. Tractor Supply. 5 below off the VWAP. AEO with a little bit of a bounce back. Urban pushing up higher. How's the gap? GPS. Ooh, it's in that shadow into that gap zone. See, it could reverse out of that, but for right now, it does look like it wants to go in it. Gush pulling back a little bit here. Back into the 70s we go here. Or in the 80s with the bid at the 77. Gotta be careful with the spread here. It can go to 75 with a 71 out, stop me out, then come right back up. So I'm lowering it down right now. I'm just kind of watching this as it starts to come back through the 34.90s. I'm gonna add again and look for the win. We'll see what happens here, guys. LICY still up there, 538s. AREB, is that one still holding in? It's coming back to the 74 spot. This one could be one that looks for the $1 by the end of the day, but for right now, it is pulling back there. Asana, that was ripping to the moon. It's up there to 1270s. This is up 8% there. See what happens on Asana, but nice little push there. Tesla, how's it dragging? It's holding in on the 181s. A little part of me likes Tesla for sure. You guys know it's one of my top plays for the day. We'll see if it's able to hold in this pullback. Will the Qs just start ramping back? If the Qs could ramp back, that could be the levels that I could look for. Cut down below 181 would be that out right now if I took the shot here. So I'd be risking about 70 cents there. I wanted to take the shot on Tesla right now. Look for a little bit later in the day because I think this could be a nice little cut down back below that again, but you can see the setup there, right? So the setup would be kind of take it off of this and hold off that 181, looking for the move to come right back up there towards the 184. It's a nice risk to return right now. I'm just not feeling it with the market kind of taking a little bit of a pause here on the up move, but the Qs are working their way right back up. So it's one thing just to note, right? All right, guys, DAL trying to get that move back towards the high there. Let's see if it can do that. I drew this line. I'm going to keep it where it is because it is rejecting that line a little bit here already. I'd like it to come up here, reject 40s, 50s, and then come cracking through the 49.25s. DAL. I have been trying to get towards this trade for a while here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get it here on little bounces. Q's trying to come back up through that 481 level. I could maybe short off of the Q's here today. That could be another level here. I haven't done that in a while. We're not about a short off the Q's here, guys. I haven't done that in a while. Let me take a look at that, guys. Short off the Q's, man. I haven't done that in a good little while. So it'd be off the 481s right now. So it already kind of broke there. I'd look for a move back towards just slightly above 481s when it kind of spikes back and then the flush down, but doesn't look too bad already. It is kind of pulling back here. Gush is pulling back. It's in the 77 spot here, guys. So I can add to it right here and then kind of risk 100. Doesn't seem too bad to maybe take that shot here. And then DAL is another one that I'm just keeping to watch because when this one goes, it could be a hard downside action move. All right, let's go ahead and try to get a little bit of DAL just because I've been trying to come after this and don't want to miss it. Getting a little bit impatient on it, right? I'm looking for the pop back here and then the fade through. But I still haven't gotten that pop. So I can set orders there at 42, maybe to fill if I just get that little quick little pop there. 42. I'll put a starter there just in case I get the pop into it. Gush back to the 75s. This is where I think you can get that nice little buyer to step up there off the VWAP, and also you'll get the algorithms to kind of take a look off that VWAP. So this is where I'm going to probably take my shot here. All right, 79, and it kind of came back towards that 75 bid. There's the 75 showing up there. Now we got the 75s right there. You see how this is what I was worried about, the spread. If I would have been on that 71, it was really close to stopping me out. So now I just need to start seeing it come back here towards the 80s, and then I'm going to take a big shot here. No fill for me yet in DAL. It's at the 36 spot, though. It could fill me any moment. All right, looking good off that 78 little turn there. Good volume on the pullback. Looking for 78s here. Gonna go ahead and take an ad. All right, it's at 79s, 80s. I'm gonna go ahead and take an ad here, looking for the push back through. All right, gonna risk about $100, the same way I've been trying to do on most trades here. 34.66. Gonna look for the rip above 35s towards 35.30s as potential reward. We'll see what happens on that one, guys. Taking a shot there. DAL is another one that I'm looking at getting a first entry. Looks like I'm right off the entry there for DAL. Let's see if I get the fill. Got the fill there, guys. Starter on DAL. Now I'm going to look to go ahead and try to get a little bit more of DAL. Okay, 49.42 spot right now. Entry is 49.42, so it's slightly above that is what I'd like to have, but I don't mind trying to add right here. So I'm looking for this trend line to hold, and then it gets to smack down, back down below. All right, looks pretty good there, guys. Already added 200. Looking to add a little bit more on any bounce back, and going to take a bigger swing on this one too. So this is probably going to be it for the day, guys. Got to find the ones that you want to take shots on today. These are the ones that I want to take shots on. Smash the like out there, guys. Freeway burnouts at 60 miles an hour. Get after it, team. All right, there's 39s, 40s. Come on, DAL. Give me another little 40 tick, and then down she goes. We got high of 41 right now. Okay. Looking for a slight tick in the 40s here to add another little bit here. All right, guys, have an order to add at like 48, but also looking to market in if I need to go ahead and just get it in there. I like the way this is setting up, at least. Q's gonna try. It did try that 481 again. And so that's kind of the level that I like right there off that 481 there for the Q's. If it gets back above there, I'd probably get the squeeze anyways. So taking my shot now, guys. All right, just got one more ad there in DAL. Can get another ad in the 49.50s, but got 600 shares, 49.40s. There's the Q's downside action coming in a little bit there. Now I'm really trying to step up here in DAL. I'm taking my shot, guys. Taking a shot here. 800 shares now, 49.30s. Seeing the Q's come down a little bit. That's what's giving me a little bit more of that attempt. I drew this trade out here. It took a little bit longer, but it's the similar trade. Now I just want to execute on this. Breakdown back through the 49.25s is an important level. Resistance is right here above it to 49.50s. There's the Q's starting to cut down, and I'll show you guys what I was looking at here for the Q's. We saw this 481 cut down. I said looking for the move back towards trying to get through that 481 there. It's rejecting it right now, so let's see if it just flows down through that level here. Nvidia is just kind of fading off of that level right now. Apple, not too much there. AMD back towards that 160 level. We'll see if it's able to hold. It went down to 158, so it tried to wash some traders out. We'll see what happens here off the VWAP as it come right back towards 158. A lot of action today, guys. Smash the like. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care, my friend. It's good to see you out there, Wisdom. Keep getting after it, man. All right, Gush and DAL, probably my top trades that I'm taking right now. I'm taking a big shot there in DAL. Not a bad one at all. It could go up to 1,000 shares there, but I'm just hanging in there. Gush is one that's in the green here that I do want to step up to the plate. Maybe take ads on pullbacks. There you guys see it. It's just looking pretty good here in Gush. All right, there we're starting to see some more downside action coming into the Qs. So I'm stepping up to the plate here, guys. There's only one way to come into it sometimes, guys, and sometimes you just got to step up to the plate and get after it, team. All right, guys, so now I know my risk here on DAL. Going to risk up here just slightly above the 50. So I'm going to do 51 as my out there, 124 of the risk on that one. Let's go to Gush. Gush, I'm looking for this to kind of really take off through the 34.95s. Like this pullback here. Now looking for it to take the 35s. All right, any pullback back towards my entry here. I'm going to go ahead and add another 200 shares. I'd like a little pullback into the kind of the 85s, 82 range for an ad. I could just jump up to the plate here at the 95s, but if it goes in my direction, I'm already having a great trade here. So let's see what happens in Gush here, guys. Does it take the 35 today? This is also based on the daily chart, right? A lot of my trades are going to be based on that. And a lot of it could also be a swing trade outlook. DAL finally starting to go in the green a little bit here. Now I just want this to wash, especially through this level where this big volume trader came in. So this big volume trader, this is where it kind of spiked in there, the 49.35s. The low of that was 49.20. So if we can get through that 49.18 level, back through there is where it's really going to start looking really good. That's a cut through down and then maybe a little bit of a bounce back into that range. And then a real flush down is what I'm looking for. We'll see if we get it on DAL. You guys see it drawn out there for you guys of how I'm looking at the trade. Like always, you guys call your own shots. Noli, what's up out there, man? CRM, you're done with it? Hey, I hope you were able to make your money really quickly today, man. That's what it's all about sometimes. All right, guys, we're back at least into the green for the short term. We're still down 171 on the day, but looking for Gush to start making that move there. There's 94s there. Can I get the 35 push? Start to push out through there, guys. I'm looking at the 35-30s, but this could really start making a move a little bit even higher than that. So for the time being, I'm pushing it up and up, because what I want to do is I want to get it away from me, show up on the tape, but way far out, guys, way far out. And then look for this to really get the spike. Then I can pull it back, or I can mark it out. That's just the way I like to take the approach, guys. Like always, you guys choose your own approach, but getting after it today, guys, it's a great day for us. We got over 40 of you guys on X right now, or should I say Twitter, which one of you guys want to call it. If you guys are tuning in on X, feel free to come over to the YouTube side of things and jump in the chat, because the truth is, I want to see you guys in the chat. What are you guys trading out there? What do you guys want me to take a look at? If you guys just jump into the YouTube side of things, you can go ahead and see that. So if you guys go ahead and do that for me on X right now, get over to the YouTube side of things, guys. And like always, you guys can follow me at MoneyMitchTP. Give me a follow, guys. And if you guys aren't watching our morning post on our socials, you're going to be missing out a lot, because I'm putting out some great information every single morning for you guys. The playbook, the sunrise report, we go through them here, but get them first. Follow us on X, right? There you guys see it. This morning, I was giving out some playbook here. Here you guys have it. I'll give you guys, of course, our Twitter. Please give us a follow if you guys aren't following already. Here it is in the chat. You guys can just click the link. Short zap. All right, my friend. I like it. I like it. I like the short zap idea. It's not a bad one to look for it to maybe just come right back down. So, hey, get after it, Great Scott. All right, let's go back to DAL. I'm just going to focus in on this one. I have a pretty good sizing in on this one, so that's why I'm trying to focus in on it. Keep a close watch. All right, tightening down my stop here in Gush, because you could get a down cut back below. And so now I have a 66 risk and give myself still the potential to make a really nice gain. So now I can go focus on DAL. Gush's trade is already pretty much set there. Just got to let it work. All right, Q's bouncing a little bit here. Back above the 481 is where things get concerning, and the bulls will start to kind of roar back. So just keep that in mind. Looking for this to really kind of break down. It still hasn't come back to the VWAP. That's a little bit of a sign of concern. We got that up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. Could hang on for a little bit longer before we actually get that downside move. Back through this level is not a good level to kind of be looking at. Would like for it to kind of reject here and then get back below the VWAP, 49.30s. Gushy Gush. Will it get through the 35 today? Make me back some cash. I need some money. MBIO pulling back to the 69 spot. We'll see what happens on that one. MINM. Can't do much, but holding in on that $4 spot. So it's still kind of holding in there, but look at the hourly chart. A lot of resistance above this 412s. Could start breaking down towards the 350 spot. So just keeping that in mind. We'll see what happens here on MINM. Dun, dun, dun. Q's still looking heavy here. Can it take out the downside action there? The trade wasn't too bad off that rejection of 481. Now we'll look to see if we go to the low of the day, but definitely seeing the Q's get a little bit heavier there. DAL. 39.30s. 39.33, 49.33s. Let's see if this can really break through the VWAP. That's the next layer to look for me. AAL, is that going lower? No, that's actually going up. Love going up too. So I got to be careful with this. UAL, what's up with the UAL? 48 break. This looks a little bit heavier. Also, UAL turning down. That actually looks a little bit better for me. Will it break, guys? It's just hanging on there now. DAL. Gush trying. There's the attempt here for Gush. That's that attempt right there. There's 35s there, guys. So at this point, if I wanted to, I could go break even on it, right? If I wanted to, I could just break even, kind of work that. Looking for DAL to kind of reject, but definitely Gush looking good here. Now up about 87. Looking for this to kind of push into the 35.20s, 35.30s. If that could happen, that could be the move there. Looking at the hourly to see the next layer of resistance towards the 36.19. That's going to be kind of like the first step up here that I can look for. Maybe 36.18. Looking for that move there, but really it would be nice to get this to come back into this level here, right? Back towards the 37. That'd be a great win on the day. Let's see if this can at least just push here to 35s. If I can read the pattern here, it's about like $1.10 here, $1.30. So the breakout would be above this 35. So $1.30, let's say 36.30. I'm just using the kind of the approach here to see if it goes above that. At this point, I shouldn't lose on this position. I'm up about 90 on it, but of course, my gains, I've been trying to get them closer towards 260 and 300. That's where it gets a little bit difficult, but got to look to see it get there, right? Got to hold towards my risk to return or see if we're able to go ahead and nail it. There's the cues trying to go lower. Let's see if this can really break down. At this point, I don't want to lose on the position here, so I'm definitely going to lower down here, but just got to be careful because you could get these quick little spike downs in Gush, and then all of a sudden it goes higher. So I'm going to move a little closer towards the $36 risk here, but it's tight risk here. Has gotten up there past 90. Now I'm just looking for the 35 expansion for it to push through 35, going to like, let's say 35.20. All right, DAL, going to go ahead and take a look at that. That still hasn't really broken down, but I am up a decent amount already just because I have that big sizing. Here's 33, 31 showing up there. Come on, crack that 30. Let's go, Delta Airlines. Trying to land this sucker. All right, guys, let's see if we can get some first kind of just declining action towards the 49.20s. Won't be looking too bad on this. All right, 48.95's top reward for me on the day for Delta, and that's if it just comes like cracking down, right? So we'll see what happens there. I'm taking my shot at least. Up 61, up 51, up about 111 here right now. If I just ran to the cash, trying to hold on right now. At this point, I should get that hard candle. I shouldn't get a candle back towards, let's say, 38.40s. That would definitely give a possibility for the spike. I'm in at 49.39, so trying to hold on here, looking for that next little layer down to at least take some profits. There's a little spike there to 36. Gush trying to get through that 35. It's really fighting it right now. XOM, let's take a look at energy overall. There's XOM trying to make the move. Valero starting to turn and pivot there. Doesn't look too bad there. XLE, not looking too bad there. PSX, talked about this one bottoming maybe 138. It's already the 138.60, so not looking too bad there for a swing attempt off of that low, that 135.80s. We'll see what happens on PSX. AREB, what's up out there, guys? This one's at 87 cents, still holding. Man, this one's pushing strong. MINM, we'll see what happens on this one. This one's been trying to come back, hasn't really come back there, but who knows? Maybe it does a spike after this. This is a hard one, definitely, because you're just going sideways. So really, no one has the advantage right now on this one, at least towards the open. See what happens there. One long, one short right now, guys. DAL looking like it might come back up, but I'm just keeping a close eye on that one. It's right towards my entry right now. All right, guys, like always, guys, if you guys want to trade stocks here, we have more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs on Trade the Pool. So if you haven't checked it out before, definitely take a look into it. Of course, you guys see me trade multiple accounts and the swing account. Let's go take a look at the swing account here, guys. That's going to be the one that ends up in the fives here. You can see it now. I'm up about 15, not too much there on XRT. I'm actually down a little bit on Valero, so I could actually be adding to Valero here. So that's not a bad one that can keep an eye out for it. Delta trying to get a little bit of a spike there, 49.40s. It's hitting that spot where I definitely don't want to see it kind of catch some lift there. But Valero actually looking pretty decent there. 152.90 is my original entry. I could add, I was looking for a move back towards 151 for the add. Right now, I'm just kind of keeping an eye out on Valero, looking for it to kind of start rocketing. And I'd like to see it just go. Right, especially this 155 takeout. Gush, come on, Gush. Come on, Gush. All right, let's get back to the day trade side of things, guys. All right, DAL not really making the move there, but the Q's kind of hanging in there too, not really coming down, just kind of chopping around a little bit here now. All right, we're back into the 38s here for Delta, and we did kind of like a little bit of a peak here. So you can see all those highs really shouldn't kind of close back above this 49.40s. And so I'm going to set the stop right here at 49.47, bringing it down there. There's the 49.20 hit there. Now we're looking great here, guys. Let's see if we can get one more cut down. Now, I'm going to take some off on this because we're a little bit down on the day. Just want to take some off, making sure we get paid here. So I'll take a 500 cut down and maybe take off. I'm actually going to do a little bit more. I'm looking for a nice little quick flush here, and then I'll take 700 off, and then the remainder kind of work because that Gush position still looks really great here also. Let me see if I can get one more cut down towards the 49.20s here. All right, put a limit order out there at 49.20s. Let's see if I can get that little bit of a quick little cut. Get that filled, and then I can just kind of hold the rest break even for the remainder of the day. See if that can just hold on. See, I'm up close to 100 on it right now, and that's where I really kind of just gotta make sure that I start working my way back, right? Number one thing is to end the week green. I'm green on the week right now, about 135, and I want to keep that, right? So I got to be smart here and just keep battling. Let's get back on the day. 35s rejecting that Gush breakout. So that's one thing that I'm definitely noting there. Q's trying to bounce a little bit here, but not really getting the bounce. It's trying to set up here for the move back to the VWAP, 49.24 on DAL. There's 27 showing up there. Bringing it down right now to the 49.15s, looking for a little bit of a cut down there, and then going to go ahead and try to just jump on the bid. Getting some messages. Let's keep going, team. If you guys haven't checked out before, definitely check out the app. I do want to mention that today multiple times because, man, this is a great way how you guys can be taking swings and then just kind of letting the market do the heavy lifting. All right, the market just kind of holding in here now, guys. This is when it gets a little bit tough, right? Because we're looking for the move. I'm looking for the move, not getting it here. So you can see here on the Qs how it's trying to break down, but doesn't really want to break through that. Looking for this trend line break, but if that doesn't happen, you could easily get a reversal on that. So you can see how it's trying to break right now. That's a 479.50s. Tesla, what's up with Tesla? It's holding in right now off of that bottoming action, that 181, but I have this feeling that we're going to get these wicked red, and then maybe by the end of the day, actually goes green. I don't know, man. This is going to be a little bit of a choppy day, especially the quad witch coming into play. DAL right back up there to 49.40. So as you guys see it there, guys, it's just been a little bit of a choppy day here. So maybe I should have just taken that 100 and ran, but we'll see what happens here. Back towards 49.37s. This is setting up there to start pushing a little bit. So that's where I got to be a little bit careful here, making sure that I understand what my risk is. All right, right now I have my risks up there towards 49.47. So just got to understand where I would take it out right now. Not much action going on, just the Q's bouncing. Gush hanging out there, not really kind of holding in the 35s, but it did pull back to the 90s. Let's see if they get some buyers to step up there. DAL, not doing much, man. It bounced there and it comes back up through that 42. I think we'll get that spike up a little bit higher. So at this point, really shouldn't kind of get back above that 42 level. I'm tightening down the risk as I start to get back towards the 49.30s. So if we get back to 49.30s like we are starting to go down right now, I'm just tightening down and following the action. So now I'm at 49.44 and looking for this to really start breaking down. If it doesn't break down, I'm just going to get out of this. So looking for the cut down through this 49.28s, and that's that real kind of let go period. So you can see here right now, I'm looking for this to kind of cut back through the VWAP, start coming towards this like 49.18 level. It's a little bit of a spike down, and then it kind of catches a little bit of some buying off the 25s. So 49.25s, someone was trying to get some there. All right, looking at it right now, I got hand on the trigger. I'm looking for the Qs to break right now. The Qs are trying to break down, so I'm going to look for one more little cut down here. If not, I'm going to just limit out about 700 of this and take some off here, making sure I pay myself along the way. Qs kind of holding in right now. I'm looking for that 479, 479.50s to show up really quickly. Here it's starting to try to come back here. There's 479.60s. Can I get the 479.50 break here? I'll show you guys that in just a second here, but just trying to take some profit here. It can really start to, there's the 49.27s. See if the Qs really let go here. $49.18, putting my limit. I'm just tightening up the stop. I'm tightening up the stop, guys. I'm trying to make sure I start getting into the green no matter what. The Qs don't want to let go right now, and that's a little bit of a sign of concern here. I'm just looking for this to start to break down here. If not, I can just throw it up and get out. All right, guys, leaving the stop. There it goes. There's the 49.25s on the bid here. Looking for another little cut down. I'm going to go ahead and try to take some off here, guys. Get paid here. All right, boom. Just took some off there, guys, at the 49.25, at least paying myself, getting myself $98 on that first. Now I can go ahead and stop, break even, and just let this work. If it breaks down and continues going down, I'll probably make another 130, which would get me back into the green just with DAL. Still got Gush on, so I'm going to go ahead and focus on Gush too. Don't want this to go red. I've given it plenty of chances to come back through that 35. So I'm going to tighten down here. Make sure that I don't go red on that trade. I have it maybe a penny or two down. So 2 ticks down, $12 risk there on Gush now. And Gush is still 600 shares. A big push above 35s. And I can make a nice $300 gain, end the week green in a good green way. Let's see what happens there in Gush. Smash the like, guys, if you guys like the approach that I take every single day. There's your flush on DAL. I was looking for a Shane. And look at the Qs. Look at the Qs, guys. This is what I was a little bit concerned about. So it tried to make that attempt to break down and reversed right here. So it's trying to break down, now reverse back. And that's the little bit of concern part of that DAL. That's what I was like, all right, well, let me just at least pay myself a little bit there. Then we'll look for it to see if it wants to continue down. All right, and then with this one, you can take a look to see if AMD comes back. The Qs come back, I think AMD goes roaring. So that's the hard part today, is looking at that AMD 160 as a level to like kind of measure off of. But I definitely do like the look here. AMD is trying to start coming back. Tesla back to 182s. Doesn't look too bad, man. It's actually starting to hold in here. And if the Qs start to come ramping back, Tesla, I think, is going to be one of the leaders today. So it was one of my top watches. I still haven't nailed a trade on Tesla. If you guys want me coming after Tesla, throw in a 1 in the chat. This is the time where you guys choose it. It's 10:47. I'm going to do a recap soon, but Tesla looking good, man. Looking good. All right, kind of cup in hand though, pattern filling in here. I'm looking for a little bit of a quick pullback towards like the 182.50s. That's kind of the level that I'd look for, that quick little pullback, and then it starts to go higher through that 183. Let's see if we can get a little quick pullback followed by that expansion. Qs are already pushing strong, guys. So that's one thing that I'll definitely state. The Qs are starting to push. So DAL, don't think I'll probably get cut on that one too. So I'm going to tighten down actually on DAL. Making sure I'm in the green here. So there you guys have it. I'm in the green off 49.38. If it breaks down and continues to break down, let it keep going. But for right now, I'm not going to jump up there. Qs are trying to start coming back here, though. That's one thing to note. Energy back into the green. That's actually a good outlook. I want to see this stay green now. I talked about that earlier. And what's coming into the greens just slightly? Technology is coming into the green. Communication services and utilities coming back up. So that's an area that I kind of keep an eye out for. Healthcare also starting to push. So Gilead, definitely one to kind of keep an eye out for. Had some good news here today. It's kind of going sideways here. Let's see if it takes a 15-minute support and starts to get back up there towards the 72. One, not a bad one to keep an eye out for. Lilly, starting to work its way back, right? We talked a little bit about that. Pfizer had earlier news this week that had started to turn it around a little bit. So this is another one that if healthcare is going to lead the day, maybe we get a little win on that one. XLV on the pullback of 145.75 recovery. We'll see what happens on there if that could recover and get back above VWAP. All right, catching up with the chat. What's up out there, guys? What you got? Louise said yes. Let's go after the Tesla Dragon. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here, guys. I'm looking for the pullback here. I can scalp Tesla, but the problem with that is the spread a lot of the times. You see how it's tightening up, though. It looks actually pretty good there. Did wash out those opening longs, so now you're getting kind of cleaner longs that were taking longs even as the Qs were pulling back. And look at the Qs start to ramp. That could ramp up NVIDIA. That could ramp up Apple. That could ramp up AMD. AMD is looking like it wants to get going here. These are not bad stocks to keep an eye out for. GME, another one, 25 recovery. I talked about how maybe you get a 25 recovery and it's a strong one here. So I'm just looking at it here to see if it starts to make a move off this 25. Little part of me even's like, man, maybe take a little bit of a swing off that 24.90s here with the swing account. You can see right there, it went right to it so fast, guys. This would be that attempt to maybe take the swing, and then you have to hold underneath it, though. So let's see what happens there. GME is trying to start working its way. It's 621, right? This is when the options were supposed to expire for Roaring Kitty, and they were at $21. So just stating that, right? Gush trying to come back, trying to stop me out. But if it stops me out now, I still took some green. That's important for me, especially taking that 98 back, right? That 98 back keeps me only down 73 on the day and gives me a chance to keep swinging. There's the cut through on Delta. So that's how it goes sometimes, traders. Right back up there in Delta. It's taking me out there, but I still got that profit down here. That's what it's all about sometimes, guys. Got to take some cash there. And it came back, and I set myself break even, making sure I wouldn't lose some money on this. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. Where do you get this transparency, guys? You don't get it anywhere. Smash the like for this. Look at this, guys. 49.38's there. 30 cents in the green. I call it how I see it, team. Always going to keep it 100 with you guys. That's what it's all about here. You guys keep it 100 and smash that like for me. All right, Summit, actually in the green today. This is one that I'm keeping on the radar, guys. For my penny stock traders, this is one that's definitely on the radar for me. I don't know why it doesn't move or get going, but the daily chart is really kind of attractive. Q's pulling back a little bit here. Gonna finally start looking for that Gush move above the 35s here. This is the big move of the day. If it can really push through that 35, I'm gonna be looking great. Let's see if it can get it. AMD now pulling back a little bit there. Delta could still break right back down, right? And so that's fine. It can still do it, guys. So I'm gonna leave that one alone, but definitely something to keep a watch on. Tesla pulling right back, man. Look how that just rocketed to 184. I'm telling you, man, a little part of me is going to be upset if I don't get this kind of trade on Tesla, because the truth is it was one of my top radars. So sometimes you got to execute on that. Didn't get it today. This was that risk to reward earlier. It was good risk to return. I hope somebody was able to nail that. Now this is that cup and handle pattern. So there's the cup. Now could look for maybe potentially the handle coming to form and looking for pullbacks back here towards like the 182.30s. Q's chopping around, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a chop fest in the afternoon. Just be careful out there. It seems like it's a big choppy chop type of day. NVIDIA trying to hold on. AMD trying to hold on to that 160, I feel like. We might get an undercut of 160 and then the rally, so just be careful out there. SRPT, it's up there to 171. It's slowly kind of climbed, slowly. Hertz is moving today, guys. The rental car. Oh, it got 20 million shares. That's something to note, guys. This Hertz is moving. I haven't traded Hertz in a long time, guys, but it is moving. Not looking too bad there. Continuing to climb. Clover Health. How'd that MINM? Holy moly, that one's a hard one to say. $4 trying to recover here. Let's see if this one can get a little bit of a spike here, guys. What do you guys think about this trade for the last trade of the day today, guys? It's about, what, 10:54. I got to get out of here in just a second here, guys. So MINM, this is going to be the last trade of the day. Smash the like, guys, for this type of trade here. I'm willing to take a little bit of a shot here. I would love to see a little bit of a dip, but I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit there. 500 shares there, guys. Taking a little bit on MINM. Looking to see if it can just do a quick little spike and hold that 4 pullback that it just made. So now that we're starting to get back above 4s, I can risk down here. I got about $55 on the risk. Let's do $60 on the risk here. Let's see if this can really get moving back above the 4s and start to push. Big spot to see it hold is that $4 spot. Then just a big push to 425. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. Let's see if it can get that. Gush still looking great here, guys. I'm going to continue holding Gush. That's going to be probably one of the ones that I'll really try to take that nice big swing on the day. We'll see what happens there in Gush. If it can get above 35s, going to like 35 30s, that's where I'll take the top profit and run. We'll see what happens on that one. All right, guys, it's 10:55. Time to start wrapping it up. Smash the like. Yash is in the house. Yash was a stock I started seeing earlier. Yash, where were you, man? Yash was moving. Let's have a great time here, guys. Like always, smash that like. Hit those up, guys. And also, do me the favor. Hit the share button. Let the traders out there know this stream exists. We got to get some more traders in here trading, calling some shots. There's plenty of traders out there willing to call shots. So if you guys are willing, join us up, guys. I know a lot of you guys are watching on Twitter. MINM. Trying to hold that $4 pullback there. What do you guys say? Step up to the plate? Should we step up to the plate? Stepping up. Stepping on up. Q's just dragging, man. It's just a trappy day on the Q's, guys. Another rejection there off the 480.70 area. So you could still come right back down, guys. Just be careful out there, traders. tightening down on the stop there for MINM. It should kind of go and just kind of give us a nice little quick move. If it is going to go, that's where it go. How'd I get hit there? The spread, oh, the spread widened out there, guys. The spread got me there, guys. The spread got me. That's going to be a little bit unfortunate. But hey, I probably would have got hit on that one right there anyways. But spread coming down there. Took a little bit of a hit there. Only 37. Down about 112 on the day, guys. So it's not always green for me. It's not always going to be green for you either. Tough day overall, guys. Took a hit on that SURTA. That was the big hit there. Zcar was early in the pre-market, so I'm not really stressing about that. Overall, was able to bounce back some on Delta. We'll see what happens on this one. I still like this MINM, but right there, I got hit in between the spread. I'm not going to keep battling, guys. I got some things to do for the rest of the day. Like always, guys, smash the like, guys. It's always good to see you out there, Yash. Keep getting after it. Keep getting after it, Shane. Great squat indeed. I miss Scott himself, guys. Shout out to Scott. Somehow, if he's watching, I definitely want somebody to give him the shout out. Definitely, I miss you, Scott. I hope things are going great for you, my friend. And we're going to keep battling here. Like always, we'll be back next week, guys. Stay tuned as Money Mitch is going to continue to give you guys as much as I can, guys. You guys see around me, we're going to build up here. So if you guys want to be in a community that builds and supports you, lets you see everything, and when I mean everything, guys, there's no one else that's going to be showing you the filled orders. There's no one that's going to be telling you their stop levels, things like that. Why? Because I could get hunted off of that, right? You guys could essentially make money off me. But the truth is, I'm here for you guys. So you guys do me the favor, hit those likes, hit the subscribe below, and like always, check out Trade the Pool for the opportunity to get after these stocks. And if you haven't checked out our swing trading evaluation, I would definitely take a look at it. I've talked about it earlier today, how you gotta have the app, man. Get your app, guys, because like right now is a perfect example. I'm still in a trade, and what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go focus it on my app, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep trading, but just focus on what's going on in my app, right? I'll be watching to see what happens there, guys. You guys see the gain right now. We'll see what happens. And this is a great way to keep up also with your swing trade account. Hit those likes. I will see you guys back on Monday. Fresh fade to death, guys. You guys stay faded out there. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the family. Remember, the markets will always be here. There's an infinite amount of opportunities. It doesn't all have to be made today on Friday. There'll still be some opportunities on Monday. See you back here, guys. Hit the like. Trade the pool.